How's it going? Boix has posted an image of Goku in a tree happily eating an apple. That's gonna be me. Oh, did it just decide to stop sharing that? Weird. Whatever. I have so many fucking apples, chat. I have so many apples. Oh my god.
Little apple boy over here.
I have so many
Apple
apples,
boy
Doc. Doc, it's
gathering up his
embarrassing.
apples.
It's so many apples. And let me turn down Majora's Mask a little bit. But yeah, looking forward to starting some Apple stuff here. I think it should be fun. Yo, thanks for the resub with 2 different flavors of apple emoji. Yeah, there's some new ones in here I haven't tried. There's some that I think I tried when I was very young, and I remember not particularly loving, so I didn't really try them again. But it's probably been like 20 years, right? And like, legitimately, logistics technology has gotten so much better in that time that they may legitimately just be better apples now because they get to you faster, fresher, better handled, etc.
Apples don't spend nearly as much time in the pear wiggler these days.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going in for a bite on these. Yeah, today's list is going to be explicitly what's the best eating apple. Because, like, as much as I would love to sit here and review every apple for eating, every apple for baking into a pie, every apple for baking into a tart, every apple for slicing up, you know, like that kind of thing, every apple for, like, converting into a
Give me your
liquid.
crumble facts.
Huh?
Give me your crumble facts.
Yeah, exactly, right. Like, it's just gonna be, it would be like an unbelievable amount of work, an impossible amount of labor for one person. I would legitimately need like a production team and to rent like a kitchen. Yeah. Oh yeah. So as a heads up, I did get 2 of every apple, just to make sure there were no bad apples. Yeah, this is what the Toho song's about, is to remind you to get at least 2 apples when you're checking for apples.
As a fun note, the scientific name for the apple like genus is Malus, Malus.
Oh, nice.
So bad apple is Malus malus.
That's
Just have my
fantastic.
forehead.
That's beautiful. No sneakadoodle bites. I'm good at my job. See, that's the difference. Yeah, and that was the thing is, yeah, I only got 1 Red Delicious because, like, here's the thing. I know if I buy 2 Red Delicious, I'm just buying 2 bad apples. That's all I'm doing. And I'm pretty confident in that one because for some godforsaken reason, and by that I mean because they are the cheapest by weight and volume, they still serve those as like parts of like lunches and meals and things. So like you'll go, the worst is when you get like apple from somewhere and you're like, okay, cool, I'll get a little apple, why not? And then it's like just the most oxidized slice of Red Delicious apple you've ever perceived in your life. Oh. But yeah.
Ain't even being preserved in water with lemon juice in there.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so again, I only got like 9 types of apple here, and yeah, I guess it's almost 3:05. We can get to doing the intro here. Let me Hello, everyone. Howdy. I'm Ty2. Did the webcam lighting change since I set it up 10 seconds ago? Life is so hard. Hi, everybody. I'm Ty Tuesday. Welcome to my orchard. I hope you're excited. I have a huge variety of apples here today. I have a little bit of paper towel to wipe with, a little bit of water, so we'll be able to rub them down. Let's talk through, first of all, the concept of this tier list. So this tier list is going to be about eating apples only. We're not talking about baking them into stuff. So some of these might have validity in that regard, right? Like some of these might hold up really well to baking, something along those lines. But that's just simply not what we're considering today, because we only have so much time. I only have so many apples. I only have so much volume in me for apples, which is a great time to talk about some of the apples. For example, yo, Cordy, thanks for gifting a sub to viewers. And let's get a little, well, that was a very loud pizza tower. There we go. Going chef mode. First one, ones that I had never tried before that I'm kind of excited for. Crisp, sweet, miniature apple, rocket.
Little guys.
Little guys. And I'm excited for these. Look at them. They're adorable. Look at these little shits. They're so dinky. I love them. They're so dinky. Apologies,
I mentioned
by
this
the way.
before.
The color correction is going to make these look a little goofy, probably. But we'll be going on flavor. This is just so that you don't have a bias based on appearance.
I mentioned this before, but one of my only problems with apples, because I do enjoy apples otherwise, is that they're kind of a commitment to eat in a way that most fruit aren't. So little guys, little apples, sounds like pretty good to me.
I have a Brayburn in here. I was only able to find one of them out of the pile. I don't know where they mixed the rest of them in. My only concern with this one, it was like, it's a little sticky on the outside in a way I don't know if I love. We'll find out together, I suppose.
Apple or gooseberry, who could say?
Yeah, maybe it's a little tomatillo. But yeah, so we got one of those. Let's see, this one, I want to say this is a bag of Honky Crisps. No, these are Sweet Tangos, which I am excited to try, because that's one that I don't think I've had in a very long time. I have a Granny Smith, just because, like, you know, good to have that indexed. It's a good apple. I like them. A couple Envy apples, which I think will be okay.
You're right. This is an embarrassing amount of apples that you should be
Opal,
slightly ashamed
Cosmic
of.
Crisps. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, multiple people in the grocery store approached me to just talk to me about apples. They were like, "This guy
Hey, man, are you
fucking
okay?"
knows apple." Well, no, it was like they were like, "Hey, what are the good ones?" I was like, "All right." This guy knows fucking apples. That's for sure. I think these are the Honey Crisp. Yeah, these are the Honey Crisp. Yo, thank you for the resubs, everybody. A little Fuji, which I think Fuji's classic. I think Fuji is, like, Fuji and Gala, I think, were like two of the first, like, cultivars. I think they're cultivars. But either way, those were like some of the first ones that spread out that were like actually pretty good and not like red delicious, you know? Not like the worst apple in human history. Speaking of which,
Back in like the 90s or so, when they started to sell apples that were good again.
yeah. But yeah, just a big assortment of apples. I think we should just get to it. I should just, you know, start tasting them, evaluate them to my best. What do you think would be a good one to start with? I feel like the mini one.
Something familiar, probably, right? Like get a baseline.
My only concern is the one that's the most familiar is my favorite, and it's Cosmic Crisp, and I'm worried that one set an unfair bar.
All right, then start with the Fuji, because that's another one that's classic that you've had a bunch of times,
That's
right?
a good point.
Like,
Yeah, Fuji's a good place to start.
Yeah.
All right. Granny is not baseline. No. Granny is an
Granny-
outlier apple. Yeah. Good apple, but an outlier apple.
Good apple.
100%. Yeah. All right. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? My ranking system is just going to be, I don't know, 1 to 10. Let me pull up a notepad document so I can get them in an order, I guess. Like, I'll do my best.
The Granny Smith is, because again, we're not talking about cooking. Granny Smiths are among the top tier of cooking apples, but
yeah, because they hold up incredibly well. Like their sourness goes way down, but you still get that like hit of it that's really, really nice.
Also, they have pretty firm flesh, which actually means that they stay in place and don't fully break down when you cook them.
Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Smoothness.
And of course, if you are a sour apple liker, then obviously the Granny Smith is a very sour, tart apple, which is great. So,
your favorite kind of apple is pear. Understandable. You probably live in a pear country. So a Fuji. Yeah, let's hit it. Anyone who's got misophonia about someone crunching into an apple.
My favorite kind of
probably
apple
shouldn't be
is
here
pear.
I actually love the sound of crunching into an apple, so I'm down for this.
Same.
Yeah, it's like, as far as like mouth crunches go, it's like the most pleasant one to me.
The nice thing is you do get some of that, like pretty classic apple flavor. There's like a light sweetness to it. No real sourness on these, like very, very minimal, if any at all. Good though, like really good texture. The crunch you get on these just is, pretty fantastic. Really good snap on it. Like a little waterier than I'd like. And I want just a little bit more character. This just feels like a very, like almost like a sugar sweetness as opposed to some of the more like...
They're very fructosey.
Yeah, as opposed to some of the more like complex sweetnesses you get from like Honeycrisp and Cosmic Crisp and stuff, where there's a little bit more of an offset. I mean, this I think is like a perfect like B+ apple. Like I think this is just like the definition of a B+ apple. I think you were right. Fuji's a really good place to start.
On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a B+, correct? That thing you said you were gonna do.
Yeah, exactly. No, I just have a document. I'm gonna put them in order. You know what? Let me just do a tier list like I always do. Sorry, I'm a fighting game player. I'm just gonna start putting shit in tiers. It's what I do. Okay, so top of B for now, I'm gonna say is the Fuji. Once we get a couple of these, I'll put them up on screen behind me. Once we have a little bit of formatting.
Other strong Fuji quality, if you are interested in this. Fujis tend to be very large apples. They are on the larger end of apples by like a lot, so.
Yeah, like, this is a Red Delicious, and this is a fruit. Now I'm talking with you. These are tiny apple. I love these little guys.
I would never mistake a Red Delicious looking like that. Are you kidding me?
Way too colorful, yeah. Yeah, so like, I like these. I really do stand by like Fuji's being just really solid, and like they're also on the cheaper end of like the bougier apples, as it were. So I think it's a solid one. I think it's a great option. All right, let's see what we have in front of me. All right.
You can't crunch into a Red Delicious. You get a mush in a Red Delicious.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna try, friend. I'm gonna try and give you that audio experience you crave of your boy going ham on an apple. But yeah, the Red Delicious, the snap is bad. All right, so let's wash this one off. This is a Sweet Tango, which is one I haven't tried in like a really long time.
Never had those before. This is going to be completely new to me.
I'm excited. Let's see. Oh,
that's a good crunch.
Yeah.
They got firm. That sounds like they got firm flesh.
This is fascinating because this almost like leans more towards pear in like the flavor, but the texture is firmly apple. Yeah, for what it's worth as well, I pulled these out of the refrigerator before going, just because like that's how I like to eat apples. Again, this is my tier list. If that's weird, I'm sorry, and I recommend you try putting apples in the fridge. You're welcome. You're welcome for when you start doing it. They're amazing. Yeah, I mean, for me, I really appreciate like the general like flavor of an apple and those characteristics. But this is like, I don't know, what is the difference between pear sweetness and like apple sweetness? Because it like really is more towards that. The flesh texture is fantastic. Yeah, man. Well, that's crazy. that texture is nuts.
The thing about pears, I know I've not had that many pears, but like they kind of feel like they don't lack they lack a little bit of that yeah, they have absolutely zero tartness whatsoever is the main difference between apples and pears, I feel like.
That's kind of what I'm catching with this, which considering it's named a sweet tango.
And apples taste more distinctly fructose sweet, I think, whereas pears feel a little bit more like sucrosey sweet, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like not quite leaning as much to just like kind of a white sugar sweetness as like Fuji, but like kind of that way. That texture is crazy though. If you're one of those texture people,
I do like me a very firm apple.
If you're like a Josh Weissman type, as far as texture goes, you shit yourself over these. These are crazy on texture. For me, I think they're like below Fuji. I'm not sure exactly where yet, but I really treasure like the very forward juiciness. That's another thing that Fuji did pretty well, is it had like a moderate amount of juice kind of come out of it when I like bit into it and really got in there and started masticating aggressively, as one does. Not so much with this one. It was a little bit of a drier apple experience. I think that was kind of the element my brain was refusing to articulate. My apologies. So, yeah, like a little bit of a drier apple, which again, maybe that's your thing. I like biting into them and being like, it feels like I bit into a little Capri Sun from nature.
Yeah.
I'm a little weirdo though. All right. Ooh, you're pretty. I don't know what kind of apple this is off the top of my dome, but these are very pretty. Oh, these are Envies. That's an appropriate name. Again, these are redder than they look on camera, so apologies there. Sticker adds 5.
They got a good gradient going on from red to yellow over there, from what I can see.
I was gonna say, this is just a very picturesque apple. This is like, maybe the shape on this one isn't perfect, but yeah, the variety in color and the variance is like really good. So I'm gonna go red mode here, because the thing is I dramatically turned down the red on this camera because it's super over represents a lot of it. So let me turn off color correction for a second here fully. Yeah. That's
pretty good.
It's pretty good. It makes apples look a lot better. That is upside. That is a good part of it. But yeah, that's good. So at the very least, aesthetically, good apple. And like, I'll even fault the other one and compare. Honestly, the other one might be prettier, but in like a weirder way. Like this one's a very smooth gradient of color. This one's got more of like the kind of patchy vibe, which I personally like. It like makes me think of like peaches and stuff.
One thing I'm noticing is that on both of those apples, you got one of them sweet spots on it, which is a deformation in the skin that represents that there's actually a advanced level of increased sweetness in the apple. That's actually a thing that's found across a bunch of fruit, including melons.
Sick. Well,
yeah. Also tomatoes, melons, and apples all do it. It sounded a little mushy.
Yeah,
comparatively.
The flavor's a little weak. It's a little watery. It's rolling a little bit more towards like kind of watermelon-y in a weird way. I think that might just be like the dilution overall. Yeah, the texture wasn't great on that. Let's take one more here, so we get. I mean, you can definitely see some mealier spots that have carried. I don't know if that got this like. So
Yeah, I can see them. Yep.
But yeah, you can see there's like a little bit of a messed up spot right over here. Yeah. Yeah, the flavor's just really not doing it for me. It doesn't have enough. I really need more. I need more anything in this, but like, I think sourness would help it a shitload because like it's just a little too sweet and empty in a way. It's almost got that smoothness that you find in like aloe vera or like aloe drink products or like watermelon or like cucumber, that kind of thing. It's got a little bit
that
of
just
that.
kind of the thing that's like it doesn't taste juicy, it tastes watery.
Yeah, and it's not like a bad thing, but as far as like eating apples, it's definitely not what I'm looking for. So yeah, I think that's our first C, because like again, not actively like unpleasant, but not what I'm looking for. Texture not quite there, flavor not quite there. It's kind of not quite, just kind of a not quite there apple, a very C tier apple.
Yeah, not like it's an unpleasant apple. It's just a bland apple.
It's mid. Yeah, apple's mid, dude. Speaking of an apple that is not mid, these are going to be mid compared to the ones I had back in Indiana. One of the few upsides of Indiana, shocking no one, is you live by Michigan. And Michigan has some really good orchards, including, I think Millie mentioned it was like the University of Michigan is the one who like originally did the cultivar for Honeycrisp apples, which is pretty good. But yeah, they were like totally okay. They're fine everywhere else, but like in Michigan, the thing is, I remember like, so how big this apple looks next to like this apple is how big Michigan Honeycrisps are compared to like a regular apple. They are like the size of a goddamn softball. They are legitimately like, UMN. Okay, sick.
That'd be University of Minnesota, not Michigan.
Minnesota, sorry. God, Minnesota, yeah. But yeah, either way, really good ones from Michigan. Unfortunately, not so much here, but yeah, huge apples. Like you had to take them into account as part of your meal because they were just so fucking big. Very likely going to be our first A or S rank here. Just as a heads up, these are phenomenal apples. But yeah, enough fucking around. Let's get to the good stuff.
Now that's the crunch I want to hear. Now we're talking, man. Fuck yes, sir.
There's just so much depth in a honey. Like a Honeycrisp is an experience, you know? It's like that Willy Wonka meal and gum shit, but like for real. Because you get this huge meaty crunch up front that's just like super satisfying. It's with a really pleasant wave of flavor, like sweetness with a little bit of like complexity to it. Like, yeah, the Honeycrisp name is appropriate because like the notes it has on top of like a normal fructose sweetness are very like reminiscent of like honey in particular. Man. And then you just like break it down a little bit more. And I think the thing that like really impresses me about Honeycrisps and Cosmic Crisps, which we'll get to later, is I feel like they hold on to their firmness from beginning to end. Like you never break it down enough to get like a mealy bite, which is incredible. Like it becomes just like juice before that. And speaking of which, damn, this thing juicy. Like, these in particular are apples that adore being put in the fridge because it just makes them pop like super duper hard. Oh man. Yeah, these are just incredible. These are just fantastic, man. Yeah, like I think I've had like one bad Honeycrisp in my life, like out of like a lot of them, because before other cultivars really started like competing and putting in the work, you know, Honeycrisp was just like unquestionably the best apple. Like I really don't think anything else. Like as far as an eating apple goes, I think the Honeycrisp just like set a new gold standard that people are still trying to like find the ground for.
Worth noting, one of the wonderful things about Honeycrisp as well, we're not judging them on these or anything, but they are also one of the best do-everything apple as well. You can use them in basically any apple application and it will be good. Like there's Honeycrisp cider out there, Honeycrisp sauce, baking with them. They always work, pretty much. Yeah, applications.
They have so much flavor in them too that it really carries through.
Yeah.
Like if you bake them, it becomes more of a soft, mellow, again, honey and apple like sweetness together. If you just eat them straight, they've got like a little bit of tang to them that like levels them out really nicely. Are they still on the expensive end? Yeah, they are.
Depends on where you are.
Yeah, it depends on where you are largely, but in
Because-
general, yeah.
Yes.
But I think if you're just eating them straight, it's worth it, frankly. Like it's one of those things where it's like a Red Delicious apple that I picked up today was like $179 per pound versus I think these were like $260 per pound or something, which like if I'm just getting 2 pounds of apple, it's another like 80 cents or whatever, but like I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be a part of my day that I like. And I think that's
It does depend on whether or not there's a Honeycrisp orchard near you, because they did get spread out from, you know, where they were first grown. They're kind of all over the place now.
Also, hey, shout outs to the first time chatters coming in about apples. I love that. I'm glad that you're here for this. I think if this is your first stream, holy shit, welcome to the team. Great one to come in on. I'm having a great time.
They even oxidize slower than most other apples. That's wild.
Yeah, like they hold longer. Like at the end of this, I can probably hold out. Like poor little, I think this was a Fuji, is already starting to like brown up. And yeah, I mean this one's gonna be pristine for a while. Easy yes though, like easy yes for sure. As far as eating apples go, like, sorry, I typed Honky Crisp on the notepad document and almost died. Let me get this captured too. Notepad.
I'm seeing a square.
How much did I trim this square?
You trimmed it a lot. It seemed, what the? How large of a window was this, my guy? What's going on here?
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna fix this. I don't know what I did.
There
we
it
go.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, Mini Matt Raid?
Nice.
What's good?
Yeah.
What's good, Mini Matt? How you doing, my dude? Oh, I want to put it on the other there. Perfect. Hey everybody from the Mini Matt Raid. I'm Ty Tuesday, joined by my friend Doc, and welcome to my apple orchard. We've been trying a bunch of them. We've tried 4 different kinds so far, as you can see the tier list over here currently. Yeah, let's keep it going though. Let's keep it going. But yeah, hey everybody. This was a sub incentive, donation incentive, some kind of incentive. It's actually been really good. I like this one. Rare to get to do something that's not like, you know, painful. It hurts me in some way, shape, or form. Nice change of pace. I'm saving you for later. You're gonna be too broken. Let me put you away for now. Well, if it isn't #1 seed Cosmic Crisp. All right, ooh, this is one I wasn't aware of that I'm excited for. Opal Sweets. I feel like I haven't tried a yellow apple in 100 years.
They tend to be extremely sweet.
Yeah. And that being said, I personally am a little down on sweet apples compared to most folks, I think. They're good. I just prefer a bigger, more complex flavor. All right, well, let's try an opal sweet. Maybe they hit real good. That isn't. Oh man, why is that skin so firm? That's a weird problem for an apple. The weird thing is, there was like no crunch. My teeth just like skated off of it for the most part and just like pulled a bunch of apple skin off of it. And it's like not great. These would be a great projectile apple, I feel like. I mean, the flavor feels really close to the Fuji, honestly. But yeah, way mealier. The skin is just, what's going on there? Like, I feel like the skin is like notably thicker too. Like you can see the thickness of it. It looks almost like a tiny melon rind. Like, oh man. Yeah, not loving this. I'm gonna try and get just enough talk of the skin. Let's have it that flesh. Like hard to get just flesh too. Yeah.
Apparently, one nice thing about these is that they apparently don't brown for hours. They stick around for ages and not brown.
Interesting.
They don't oxidize easily at all.
Huh. That's
It's kind of an odd advantage to have, right?
Yeah, maybe for like putting on top of a baked good that you need to sit out at like a banquet hall for a bit. I don't know. Either way, current worst apple to simply eat. Yeah, probably like a cooking apple, right? You know what? Party time, boys.
Given the way you described it,
Yeah.
given the way you described it as like tasting like a Fuji, though, it feels like they're kind of bland for cooking apples.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's the big problem. Here are the rockets.
But probably a good sauce apple.
These ones I was excited for because they're fucking super tiny and I think they're adorable. I want to give them a little kiss. These things are hilarious. A little on the expensive side, but they're little guys. They're bespoke little guys, and I'm kind of into that. So let's see if I'm gonna hate eating all these apples. God, did you all realize how many apples I have? Okay, let's see.
Did you know that the average apple weighs like an average of half a pound?
These almost have like a little bit of they're almost like cider leaning a little bit, like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like in a good way. It's like a gentle sweetness with like that extra like cider like depth in them.
The kind of warmth of cider sort of flavor.
Yeah, these are pretty good. And like good texture. Seems like you can get pretty deep into them without hitting any like seeds or anything. So like,
yeah, that was kind of my main concern, given how small these were. Like, was the core going to be really big compared to the rest of the fruit? But nah, okay.
yeah. Yeah, these are actually pretty damn good. Yeah, I'm into this.
I'd have sold me on these because I I would like a small apple every now and again. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, and like I said, they're like a little bit on the expensive end for sure, but like, who knows? Maybe like long term, you know, the price will like normalize on these bad boys. Yeah, man. Like, that's where the seed pod starts relative to the stem on depth. That's really good, actually. Yeah. You know. The other thing I love is that they do come in a little box that is just gonna slot really nicely into your fridge somewhere. Just leave it near the front door so when you're hungry you can just grab a little apple. I'm into it. Oh. Yeah.
My typical snacking fruit of choice is a classic Clemson. So yeah, I'm glad to see that they're good.
Yeah, I like them. They've got a really good, like, I think the thing I was worried about is that they would be like very one note and very just fructose forward, nothing else, no complexity on them. But no, there's like a really nice little bit of cider on it. In fact, you know what? I have so many of these little shits. Let me check a second. Let me pick up.
Have you found yourself a real tiny guy over there?
Oh my God. Let me show you compared to. Okay, let me get one in one hand and one in the other. Okay. So here's the Honky Crisp apple, and here's the. Just kidding, it was right here.
Look at that little guy.
Oh, that was so good. Oh, man. Oh, okay. Oh, it's so little. It's so little. Don't talk to me or my son ever again. I love this little guy. Holy shit. Oh, man. Oh, YouTube is just not auto-playing playlists today, huh? That's fascinating. I don't love that. What if I do it here on this screen? And thank you. You know, sometimes learning how to palm balls can be pretty handy in your day-to-day life. You never know. All right, here we go for history's tiniest apple. It's like biting into a dense berry. Yeah, the flavor is still really good. Oh man. These are fucking delightful. Get these little shits and ass, man. Like, expensive, but a once in a while good time. Just even for the novelty, I think. I'm having too much fun eating these apples to not put them in S in good conscience, you know? Like, I gotta be real. Okay. Let's see. Why do I have so many apples? Okay, you're good. I told you, Chad, I have so many apples. It's an egregious amount of apples. All right, this was the Braeburn, B-R-A-E. I've given all these a really healthy rinse and wipe, so like we're good on the stick factor. But let's see. I have no preconceived notions about this guy. I have no idea what a Braeburn is even supposed to taste like. I have no clue. I don't know if I've ever had a Braeburn.
That sounded pretty firm.
It's a little.
Might have just been. So it was the skin that was really, really snappy then.
I could only find one of these, and I think I know why. So I'm gonna not rate this one. To the trash. She was perhaps a little turnt. A little turnt. Derogatory. Oh, smart ball, the colors are going to be off just because I'm using like color correction stuff because my camera has a really bad habit of way overshooting on reds in particular. Because my lighting is also like very vibrantly white, which I don't think it's used to. Yeah, that was the one that was like a little sticky when I got it too. So yeah, I think it was just, that was, as they say in the Toho verse, the malice, as it were. Brayburns have a weird issue where they can go off. Okay, word.
Yeah, I'm looking this up right now. Brayburns apparently have a... Apparently, if you get lucky, they can last for quite a while in storage, but also they appear to have a weird disorder that's specific to them that makes them go off in ways that you literally cannot tell until you bite into them.
Oh, man. So what you're telling me is that they made an RNG apple, which means Ty Tuesday can never engage with it, or I will roll 100 bad apples in a row.
On the other hand, Jazz apples are apparently just a descendant of the Brayburn, and they don't seem to have this problem, so...
Okay, so this is some, like, up working on the Jazz, which I don't have any of today. I had to call it somewhere, gang. I've only got so much stomach in me, too. But yeah, let's get to one of the more... This tier list, I want to remind everybody, is just about eating the apples. It's not about cooking them. It's not about utilizing them. It's about like a day-to-day having an apple is a treat. That's all. That's all. Just putting that out there because the Granny Smith is an apple that, if we're talking about utility across the board, like how much it has hard carried human society and human baking, then it's like S+, right? No questions asked. Like, it's like trying to rate
one
the
of the best
Beatles.
Cooking apples flat. Yeah.
It's like trying to rate the Beatles and being like, I don't actually like their music very much, but holy shit, the historical relevance is like undeniable. you can't separate that from it. So let's try and very as close to objectively evaluate the apple and then subjectively interpret that into a ranking. Here we go.
Very firm flesh on a Granny Smith. Very tart. Very sweet.
You do sink through it. Like, there is a bit of a tenderness once you get through the initial layer. Or no, this one's not particularly juicy. But I'm catching more than I usually do. The flesh on this is like almost like a little bit vegetal. Like it almost has like a bit of like a chlorophyll taste to it, which I never really picked up on before. That sourness though, man. If you're a person who just like loves sour stuff, man, these are like getting to eat candy for free. It's kind of fucked up. Like, they're incredible if you like them, man. Yeah, I think pretty good. I don't adore the texture on these for eating. I think if what I want is a violent Honey Crisp, a serious Mr. Crisp, if you will, that is very similar to a Honey Crisp, but with like roughly 50% more acid content in it, you know? Just like a real Honey Crisp with some bite on the ass. I'd be into it. Yeah, I mean, I gotta give it up, man.
Grammy Smythe.
Grammy Smythe. Oh shit, did you hear they announced Smythe 2?
Oh damn, I didn't.
Did the red apple like launch out of a bag into my car? Did God himself keep me from having to eat a Red Delicious? No fucking way. No way. No way. I'm gonna have to go check my fridge. There's no way the only one that fell out was the fucking Red Delicious. You're kidding me.
The only kind of apple that's like not actually super round, the one that's got the weird like bumpus texture going on, is the one that
found
rolled
its way
out.
Yeah.
Weird.
But how? Oh. Well, I guess we'll check on that in a bit. Talking about apples. Going thumbnail mode over apples. Yeah, this is a sugar bee. Sugar bee is one I've never tried before. I had never heard of these before today. I, in particular, like I said, generally lean a little bit away from the sweeter varietal of apples. So this is going to be one that I might rate lower than most people if you prefer sweet flavors. So keep that in mind. Oh, I'm so fucking full of apples. I'm so full of apples. Jordan, I'm so full of apples.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm so full of apples.
Good.
All right. So, as you can see, we've been going through a good amount of apples here. Honeycrisp currently at the top. Rockets right behind them, which their flavor was nice. Their flavor felt fairly consistent. And the big thing is, so this is a sugar bee, which is like a mid, like slightly below average sized apple, I'd say. Let me grab one that's a little better. This is a Fuji. This is just a classic apple-sized apple. And let me show you what a rocket looks like. I knocked my controller off my desk trying to open this box. There we go. Again, Fuji, rocket. Look at that little fella. Look at that little fella. Oh my God. They're so tiny. I love them. But yeah, they're fun. They're super tiny. Not a lot of seeds in them. I'm into it. A different form of sweetness as well. Okay. That's the Fuji. All right, so the sugar bee, let's get to it. Thank you again for the raids. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your audience with mine, as always. Thank you. Let's see what a sugar bee is. Ooh. Oh, shit. That's really fucking good. Oh, man. Very close to Honeycrisp in a lot of ways. Yeah, reasonably firm flesh. The really good snap. The sweetness was pretty fantastic, as you would expect. But it's not the one-dimensional, one-note sweetness a lot of the other sweet apples have been falling into, like that trap. Particularly like the sweet tango and the sweet opals, you know, those were pretty, and it was largely because it was just like fructose, nothing else behind them. Yeah, thank you for the follow over there. Thank you. I believe sugar bees are a Honeycrisp varietal. I would believe it because there's a lot of that same like faux honey characteristics that like wrap around the sweetness and make it a lot more pleasant and a lot more like interesting. Man.
The variety was discovered by Chuck Nystrom in the early 1990s, developed in Minnesota, and is believed to be a cross-pollination between a Honeycrisp and another unknown variety. I don't know how that can happen, but hey.
How do we make another one if we run out? Oh, fuck. We don't know. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Yeah, that is what this tastes like. For what it's worth, this does feel like Honeycrisp with like a little bit more of like a wild flavor to it almost. Like not necessarily vegetal, but like a lot of the compounds you find in other fruits that have a little bit more like layers to them around or outside of just fructose itself. Dude, base to stem, that was all fantastic texture. It holds really nicely in the mouth, too. Yeah, this is really good, man. Damn. Is it better than a Honeycrisp? We're finally getting to the hard part, man. I knew it was gonna come to this eventually. All right, hello. Also, when we mentioned earlier that Fuji, like the standard apple, which is already pretty browning resistant, is gonna oxidize like a quarter, or it's gonna oxidize like 4 times faster than the Honeycrisp. That's what we mean. This is the Fuji. You can see it's already got some like fairly, notable oxidization. And there's just none on this Honeycrisp. There's just none visible. Yeah, for the record, I did get a Brayburn. Sadly, it seems that I Thai Tuesday'd it and pulled a really bad one. I didn't judge it because I could tell clearly. I was like, this isn't what this is supposed to taste like. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, they wouldn't sell this to people. This is horrible. No one would say this is their favorite,
It's kind of like how when you're eating clementines, most clementines you eat are going to be very good, and then one of them is going to be the nastiest, most acidic shit you've ever put in your mouth. Mm-hmm. It happens.
I can't believe I'm saying it. This is better than Honeycrisp, I think. At least this one is. This is definitely one of those things where I have a feeling it probably depends a lot on like region and season. These are very close, and I will say I've had Honeycrisps that I like more than this, but these Honeycrisps in particular that I could source in Colorado, this is a better apple. When I was in Indiana, I think I've had Honeycrisps that I liked notably more than those, but also more than this. But yeah, man. Wow. Oh. Yeah, buddy, man, that's a good fucking apple. That's a good ass apple. Shout outs to Sugar Bee, man. Those are great. Damn.
That's great to me.
Yeah, that's a fantastic apple. All right, before we get to finale and review segment, I need to use the restroom real quick, and I'm gonna check and see if the Red Delicious is in my fridge. If it is in my car, I will simply say the Red Delicious are bad, and you can trust me. You can simply believe me.
I can give you a preview if you do go find it. He's gonna put in a D rank or an F rank or whatever, and that's gonna be the only one on that rank is Red Delicious. I love clementines, but really it is true that clementines they got that problem of some of them are just bad. Yeah, it's a known thing that the original strain of Red Delicious were good, but then they got bred for their appearance first and foremost, and this caused a lot of problems with them down the line.
I'm gonna go check my car. Where did I put my keys? Hold on. I'm gonna go see if it's in my car. God tried to throw clear the Red Delicious, but not today. Let me see if I can find it.
I think I have this. I might have the same chair as Ty. Huh. Neat. I personally, I don't like eating apples all that much, is the thing. I do enjoy apples, but I don't eat them very often. I have kind of been sold on Rockets specifically because I would like a smaller apple if I could help it. A big problem I have with apples is that eating even a single apple is a fucking commitment, because they tend towards to be like half a pound to nearly a full pound, you know, each. They're big fruit with a lot of flesh. So in the rare times I want to eat an apple, I usually want to get punched in the goddamn face by that apple. So I'm actually a fan of Gold Delicious apples, which are stupidly sweet and quite tart. Like outrageously sweet. Otherwise, though, I am someone who more prefers eating things like oranges and, like I said earlier, clementines, which are my favorite snacking fruit. I think this OST is... shit, what is it called? Dungeons of Aether? I think it's called. Yeah. No, you hiding a Clemson over there? Huh? You got a Clemson? You better share that Clemson with the class. Ty is checking his car to see if he can go find the Red Delicious apple that has vanished. He is suffering for his work here. Both having to find it and also...
I'm back. Yeah, man, right-handed Goku, I bought that fucking Red Delicious apple. I don't like hate them so much. Eating one would make me die. Like I wouldn't like dodge an apple. Like, no way. I checked my entire car. I checked the fridge. I checked all the bags. Did it like sneak into a bag with a good apple? The Jokers trick me later? No, that's just the Cosmic Crisps. Sweet Tangos? But how? I bought so many apples. How? Yeah, I think I have a guardian angel that didn't want me to have to suffer through eating one of those. Cool, man. I'm gonna find it after stream for sure, but it's gonna be like in the floor of the garage.
Do you have your receipts?
Huh?
Do you have your receipts?
Oh yeah, no, the receipt will definitely show that I got it, yeah. If it doesn't just show 100 apples. But yeah, no, it was one of them I bought, it was in my cart. I have a feeling it just flew out of a bag or something, I don't know. Well. That's wild. This is not a bit. I would not have gone. I don't know if you heard it, but I opened my garage, which is directly under here. So you might have heard the garage opening or someone slamming a trunk. That was me. That was not a bit. All right. No, it was a Brayburn because I only had one of them. All right. Well, neither here nor there. Okay. Let me get the thing. It's sneaking up on me. It's gonna get me soon.
The Red Delicious is sneaking up on you. It heard you talking trash and is going to Agent 47U.
Yeah, I put a capitalism got him again tier, and that's where Red Delicious goes. Below the toilet. All right. Well, yeah, adding to the Thai Tuesday wiki, the great Red Delicious controversy. All right, sick. And yeah, hey everybody, we're about an hour deep. If you're already following, please do. I'm Ty. I stream 6 days a week. A lot of normal stuff, a lot of video games and whatnot, but we do wild stuff here and there. And best way to know is to, drop a follow, check the old socials. I have a Twitter if you give a shit. I post just my stream announcements on co-host. So if you have one of those, shortcut to just hearing about when I stream and nothing else. YouTube clips channel we have, it's pretty sick. If you drop a follow on TikTok, that'd be tight. If I can get 1,000, I can start live streaming on there and being a fucking menace, and just trying to ruin as many teens' days as possible, so they love that. But yeah, this isn't normal. I mean, it is a little. This is way more normal compared to like, doing a pressure cooker Neo Kobe pizza where I pressure cook the slice of pizza in chicken noodle soup. That sucked. All right, so final apple. It's a tier list. Very appropriate to have a final boss theme playing during this because the Cosmic Crisp, in my opinion, is absolutely the current final boss of the Apple meta. Everywhere I've had them, they have an unbelievable stability. They hold up so good all the time. And thank you for the resubs. Are those weird? Sometimes they're showing up, sometimes they're not. Thank you for the resub. Oh man, so here we go. Cosmic Crisp. Okay, not too bad. Yeah, man, they're really good. Yeah, chat immediately could to me just being like, hey, that's pretty good. Oh, God. Yeah, just like, God, I love this apple, man.
One of the wonderful things about the Cosmic Crisp, just so everyone is aware, it is a fruit that is explicitly intended to eventually just full-on replace the Red Delicious apple.
Yup. They are incredibly shelf-stable comparatively to like most other, fancier apples. God, the flesh is just like, there's a little bit of bite to it. For me, it like feels more like a little bit of texture. Someone I could see like reading that as a mealiness because there is a bit of like this is gonna be really hard to see, but as far as like the smoothness and the texturing of this apple, there's like a little bit more of a roughness on the internals as opposed to like the Honey Crisp is like a little bit smoother in my opinion, and so is like the sweet. So I could see someone being turned off by that. The other thing I love about these guys, even if you do roll one that's like a little bit worse, they still just like turn into juice in your mouth in an incredible way. They're just fantastic. Yeah, the sweet opals were a golden apple. They didn't do so good, as you may notice here. Let's see. Oh man, I have to compare a couple more of these, but I'm like officially so fucking full of apples. I'm finally hitting the like too many apples to have in one guy.
So one of the things that's being mentioned here, though, about like how biting into them, they kind of turn to juice in your mouth, and this does mean Cosmic Crisp, exceptional eating apple. Bad at the everything else part of being an apple, like the cooking parts. But that's fine. That's not what it's for.
Mm-hmm. Oh, who stuffed me so full of apples? Who did this? Oh. Yeah, I'm turning into Yoshi. I'm like a horse. I love apples. All right. I think it's time to do one final side-by-side here of the Cosmic Crisp versus a Sugar Bee apple, because dude, this Sugar Bee is just something else. Like this is just like a new kind of apple I've never had before, and I think it's fantastic. And I'm worried I might be rolling a recency bias, you know? So want to double check that work. I think this is the other Sugar Bee. Yeah. Yeah, I think it might just be between these two. And this really could be more than any other decision here. Just like time of year, where you are, how close you are to an orchard, how recently they pulled the apples, how close to fall it is, etc., etc. And again, Sugar Bee apples, for what it's worth, were the most expensive apples, other than maybe like the Rockets. I think the Rockets might have technically been like a little more expensive, but that could also just be packaging as well, you know? The Sugar Bees were the most expensive otherwise. Jesus Christ. Okay. That one's definitely weaker than the first one. That first one was nuts. I think I just rolled like a really fucking good apple. I think I just rolled a crazy good one.
Oh, the second Sugar Bee is not as good as the first one.
It's still good.
It happens sometimes, yeah.
There's still like a really good firmness to the flesh. There's still good flavor to it. It's just like not quite as perfectly balanced as the other one was. This one's like a little more towards sweetness. I'm almost wondering if that other one was like slightly more like unripe. Like it wasn't fully ripe yet, whereas this one's like more what they consider ripe. Because the other one was nowhere near as sweetness forward as this one. Okay. All right. So I think for today's list. Oh, sorry, I just went to random Octopath Traveler music. I was like, what the fuck is this? This isn't on my playlist. What's going on? It looks like this is what we're ending with, which I don't know. I feel like that's as far as like eating apples go. I feel pretty good about this tier list. I think this is totally fine. Most of I mean, most of the complaints I had about the lower apples too were like pretty straightforward, right? Like, Envy was very pretty, but the flavor was just very, very lacking overall, just in both depth, richness, complexity, like just a little bit of fructose, a little bit too watery, not quite a fulfilling apple. The Sweet Opal was just really thick skin, weirdly thick skin, kind of unpleasant, like textured flesh, and like the flavor was okay, but like firmly bottom of our tier list outside of, you know, the cursed Red Delicious. Fuji at B, I mean, that's just a solid ass apple, right? Like, I think for me, that is personally the line of like an apple I'd be cool with being served as like just apple with nothing else with it. Anything Fuji or above, you could bring me slices of and say, here's some apple, and I'd go, hell yeah. Where is Gala? Sky? I'm already so goddamn full of apples, girl. I'm already so fucking full of apples. And yeah, I couldn't get any more. I'm already at my limit of how many apples. But yeah, there were Jazz apples, Gala apples. There was like another yellow apple in there. There were so many apples. I would say for me though, based on past experience, I would put Gala about the same as Fuji personally, maybe like a little bit above them. I'm dying full of apples. Yeah, they were good. Yeah, Macintosh in part 2 would be another good one. Gala apple, Macintosh apple. There's like a lot of really, you know, other standout varietals, but this is my tier list. This is my opinion. See you later on Joe is Hungry. Just kidding. I'm Ty. And again, yeah, hey, if you're already following, please do. And hey, drop a follow for Doc as well over at sword.zone or twitch.tv/MDCT. I'd appreciate it. Pick crew's full of a lot of good people, and you should follow all of them, including Skybills, who just posted in chat. Click that name, drop that follow. Oh, man. I'm full of apples. That one doctor who claims smoking is good would fucking hate me right now. That guy is the only doctor who's actively like, apples are bad for you, so are tomatoes. He also is really into the part of like Italy where people live for a really long time, which it's like, but wait, they eat like nothing but tomatoes up there, bro. Oh, that guy. Yeah, if any doctor tries to get close to me, I will simply like do a solar flare and just like blast him in the face and run away. Apples are just hottie potatoes. They're so fucking good. That's one thing I will say. Hey everybody, it was a great time making this tier list. Like, I'm a little too full of them at this point because I've eaten like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I ate like half at least of an apple of each of those. So I have at least like 4.5 apples in me tummy, probably closer to 5. But yeah, maybe we'll have to do a tier list of potatoes down the road. That would be a fun one. That would be one though that you really do have to do it by preparation, right?
I mean, yeah, because technically eating potatoes raw is slightly poisonous, so you probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, doctors don't love. Doctors hate when you eat apples, but they really hate when you just eat a raw potato.
I'll do it anyway, but you're not supposed to.
All right, I'm gonna get the food review stuff up.
Like, I'll sprinkle a little bit of salt on a raw potato like chunk and eat that. I'm not supposed to, but I will do it. There's nothing. No one can stop me. Sorry.
Well, first of all, I'm in a really good mood, and that makes me want to put maybe my favorite personal food review channel.
Hello everyone and welcome.
Oh, for those of you with sharp ears, you already know who it is. You already know it's your boy Force Roman Cancel. Just kidding. That's not what it stands for. It stands for Food Review Club. And let me get this shared to Doc as well. Oh, I already did. Never mind. Damn, he's good. Oh, no, because that's sharing my screen, not sharing my browser. There we go. Yeah, let's watch some food stuff. Let's enjoy some little food reviews. And now that we've done an extensive 1 hour session of tasting apples, let's see other people eat other foods and see if they can give as much joy to Verve for their food as I can for an apple. This guy can. This guy brings the fucking beans for sure.
Hello everyone and welcome.
Thank you so much, Laterway, for gifting out 5 subs. Congrats on Conquered Fun, Arden Zevius, Xanoron, Boix, and Mr. the Lazy One.
Didn't have a great time with the burger there. The meat was underwhelming, wasn't it, Simon? Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you. Always a pleasure, never a chore.
Thank you very much. Bit underwhelming.
Yeah, it was just lacking like serious flavour from the beef. I wouldn't have called it like a burger. It was more like a beef roll with like complex fillings.
Damn, that is unbelievably fucked up. That's so that is like a mean thing to say, but I know what he means. Like, you get these places that are so up their ass about like stuffing a burger that they forget that like a burger stands on its own and can already be like combined with other ingredients via the magic of stacking.
It's a
you can put things on top or below it.
Yeah. We spoke off camera after, didn't we? And I think if a great burger, you're the same as me, it's a classic burger with big emphasis on beautiful meat, cooked properly with a little bit of seasoning. You don't need anything else. And
like I said, I fucking love this guy, man. He just gets it.
That's kind of prompted us to go and find a burger that we do like. We found this, Junk. Smash burgers, and if the picture's anything to go by, looks pretty good. Spoiler alert, I popped my head in to see if they're open, and I instantly got that beef smell. You know, that like caramelized, powerful smell, yeah. So, let's get into Junk and see if this is the burger that you guys need to know about here in Lille.
I think that's one thing that people forget about, that's like really joyful about going into a restaurant that is one item specifically. And I'm going to, by the way, I'm going to stop streaming on YouTube. So if you are watching on YouTube right now, hi, please hop over to Twitch, because at this point I'm talking over YouTube videos, and sometimes YouTube gets very upset with me about this, even though I am clearly transformative. Thank you very much. I believe, you know, they might have a different take. So hopefully see you on Twitch. Okay, there we have shut down the YouTube stream. Oh, is there a slight letterboxing going on? There we go. Sorry about that. Form screen. There we go. Mea culpa. Sorry.
Oh wow. Turns out I did massive cookies as well. Here they are.
But yeah, one thing that I think people don't appreciate enough about going to like a very one food specialized restaurant, or like a place that, you know, just does burgers and fries and nothing else, is the restaurant itself builds like an aura. Like there is a smell, there is a certain weight to the air, there is like there's a vibe, there's so many things going on that add to that experience, especially if like they do their lighting well on top of it inside of there. Yeah, there's just like so many good elements to it. And you're never going to get that from a place that's doing, you know, 25 different things. They need to be making a shitload of one thing in the back. There was a Mediterranean place that Minimat and I went to after working on moving a little bit. And I walked in and it smelled so fucking good. It was like so good. And then I look back and there's a big meat and a grill cooking a million meats. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's what it's all about.
That's a bit more like it, isn't it?
It's got all the caramelization.
This is a cool little shop, isn't it?
It is.
Wicked. So, you didn't like the burger last week, did you?
Not particularly, no. Not my style at all.
If you haven't seen this video, by the way, go and check out our last video on YouTube. Nice people, just for us a little bit underwhelming. I think a lot of it just came down to the beef, didn't it? It's just like, you've got to make sure that is your priority, not the other fillings, flavours and twists. Kind of steamed, wasn't it?
This is definitely one of the things I like the most about this guy as well, is he he's willing to be negative. He couches it in a lot of positivity, and he does always make sure to like talk about like the staff was wonderful, this was wonderful, that was wonderful. It was just like the food was lacking in this regard, that regard, the other. And yeah, he's just like willing to be honest about it, and I think that's good for a food reviewer. So many of these guys on YouTube are just straight up like borderline just doing advertising for Domino's for free, right? And this guy won't. This guy will go to a place and be like, yeah, it wasn't very good, man. I wouldn't go there.
Yeah, strange. Do you order on the machine? Yes. Okay.
Not that much luck with screens so far, have we?
Jesus.
I feel for him, man. I fucking hate ordering on a whatever you call it. The
Self-serve tablet.
the kiosks, yeah, the self-serve kiosks. Yeah. God, I hate ordering on those things. It's to the point where for me, the thing that frustrates me about it is, so there is a McDonald's by where I live that occasionally, by using the app, I will have a deal that's so cheap that I'm like, okay, I'm in a hurry. I'm walking back home from the gym. I'll just grab something and be on my way. So I'll like order it in the app, go to pick it up. And the problem is they just don't have anyone out front ever anymore. Like no one. So I have to like yell into the back and be like, hey, I'm here for a pickup order. Like, hey, can you bring that out front? Yeah, like you're supposed, because they're supposed to just deposit it in the box, but they just don't, because like then there would be no one watching the food because there's no one out front. So it just eliminates the usefulness of pickup almost entirely. Like the convenience factor is gone. I don't care. I'll just yell at them because I know they don't give a shit if I'm just like, hey, can you take that bag from 4 feet over there and put it in my hands? Thank you. Why is there no cashier? There just isn't one. There just isn't one at all. You just have to go to a self-serve kiosk. And of course they blame this on COVID and not that they want to pay one less employee.
What does this mean?
Le Mat, I think.
Yeah, self-service cost-cutting stuff. That's why it's bad. Never let them try to talk you into thinking it's like good for you.
Oh, wow.
There we are. Look at that. Small
Oh,
XXL.
wow. Truffle. Panko fried chicken. Yes. What burger do you like, gents?
I'll go with a medium, I think, bro.
Do you know what I absolutely love about this?
It's just simple.
Have you noticed? All you've got is one burger.
Beef, bread, sauce.
All you've got is one burger. Just how big do you want it?
Keep it simple.
They're staying in their lane.
Looks like they've got one fancy burger, the truffle burger there, and then it's just
It's like a special, I think.
a veggie burger, a truffle burger, and then the burger.
So that looks
I appreciate that. Like straight up, I do actually appreciate that a lot. Like a place that just has, we do the universal, the weekly, and the one for your friends and family who want to be hanging out with you but can't eat beef. Sick. That's like, that is kind of the
like
ideal.
single, double, treble, 4 and 5.
You gonna go for the double
You go for a
X?
medium.
I'm gonna go for a medium, bro, yeah.
Oh,
Oh. No, just have it
I
as
just
it
want it
is.
as it comes, yeah.
Quantity 2.
there we go.
Look at that. Look at the patties.
1750 euros. Like,
that is.
I know this is also like UK food is really, really expensive right now, but still, damn. Also for
That's,
like 4 patties.
Do you want?
I'm all good for Jomo, I think.
Sure. No Jomo?
Yeah, no
That's
Jomo
honestly
for me.
not that
Let's get
bad
rid of it again.
So
for
you
beef
also
prices
want
up
the
here.
big one
Yeah.
for picture.
That's like actually perfectly fine.
I was gonna say, how, because that converts.
50 euros.
Euro's only a little bit more than
Switches
a dollar.
on the side.
It's only like
Oh,
$1.20.
okay. I was thinking it was more, like way more.
Yeah, orders made. These are the cookies, by the way. Look how good they look.
He said he wasn't Lily and it's in euros. Okay, word.
Absolute deep dish.
Got some heft to it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Thank you to my
You smell
European
that,
friends and
that beef
geography
flavour?
knowers who are
Yep.
smarter than
Strong,
me, the dumb boy who
aged,
can't
big
remember what a
flavour
map looks
you get
like.
from
The
caramel
Maste.
stuff.
Cleanliness, not an issue. Even the floors.
Hell yeah.
Always a good
Love to
start.
block an ad on a day.
You know, I know someone, when they go to a restaurant, first thing they do is go to the toilet.
Oh, really?
Look at how clean the toilet is.
Just to
Because
check
they,
the overall
just
hygiene.
the hygiene place. And that is brilliant to see that. Thank you.
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
We have the goods. Just done a little photo shoot with the big one.
Sorry. I love anyone referring to any item as the goods. I think that shit is so funny. I gotta start doing that more, man. I gotta start referring to more shit as the goods.
When we go on the MagFest grocery trip for my cooking, we are definitely going to be getting the goods. Let me fucking tell you.
Getting the goods for a big soup.
I'm getting like 3 whole chickens. So like, of course it's going to be the fucking goods. Like,
Yeah, it's very, very good.
You'll see. You'll see. Let's see how these little ones look. I say little ones. Double patties?
Medium.
See, I like that they don't call like a sneakadoodle bite or some shit. They're just like, sorry, man, we had a bite. We couldn't fucking help it. They're good as fuck. Like,
There you go. Here we go. First things first. Drink watch. What is that? Don't know what I ordered. Peach and hibiscus.
Detox juice.
oh yeah, chat. You mentioned someone looked up what that
Give me
was.
IV drip.
What that beverage was.
Cookies. Cool. Leave them in there. That's the main event.
Self-serving groceries is a terrible
It is
experience
the
as a
main event.
disabled person. God, yeah, that too, right? Jomo. Okay.
Okay. Thin.
Or is it like a
smashed
Yomo?
Patties. Here we go.
It's an iced tea. Okay.
God, I'm looking forward to this. So this is effectively the complete other end of the spectrum to the last video and our end of the spectrum. Simple, looking, effective.
This is way more up our street now.
If it's French, it'd
Look
be
at
a
the
je.
crust.
Okay, so it'd be
All
like
the latest
Jomo.
smash patties.
Oh my god.
It just looks like it's singing with flavour. Look at it.
Yeah.
All the little skirt.
Yeah, man, that's like what I'm shooting for. Like when I make burgers for friends, like simple burgers, that's what I'm looking for. Like that right there, that skirt, that's my job. The only person who had one like in super recent memory was like Mini Matt. So Mini Matt could attest to it. But like, yeah, that's my job, man, to get as much of that beautiful caramelization. And the thing about the skirt is just pure crunchy good bits of like the pure Maillard reaction. And that little bit of an edge just really like it leads you into the rest of the burger so nice, right? Because you go to take your first bite and before you even, tear anything off, you taste that outer edge and it just tells you it's like, welcome to Beef Kingdom, brother. Like we're getting in there. It's such a good, it's just like, it's a fine fucking how do you do to get, ready for the rest of the burger.
What a place this is.
It's actually like. All right, here we go.
I think it's some of the best smash patties I've seen, to be honest.
These have been in the bag for a little while too, so steaming. What's the sauce? Let me just go for the sauce quickly. It's like a cheesy burger sauce.
Mustardy, pickly.
Yeah, like a burger sauce, bit of cheese in it as well, maybe. Here we go. Let's go for it, bro. Shall we? Cheers.
Yes, I was gonna say, which I didn't stop fast enough, but I was gonna say bets on who goes first, but it was the guy on the left. But yeah, 100%. Now that's a food review I can believe with. I can believe. Oh, Radamero. Here, let me put up the list for you for a sec. I believe I still have it. Oh, let me get me out of the way. This is what it ended up being. Cosmic Crisps just barely edged out Sugar Bees, which were a new contender. Phenomenal stuff from them. Honey Crisp, obviously fantastic. Real solid apple, kind of revitalized the American interest in apples, I feel like. It was like initially Fuji and Gala, and then it escalated to being Honey Crisp is like the lead apple for an American to be excited about. Rockets, another new contender. Super tiny little guys, cute as shit, and delicious. They have very... it's almost like if a Honey Crisp was leaning more towards a cider flavor as opposed to a honey flavor, but it was good. Granny Smith, I mean, it's a fucking Granny Smith, baby. What do you want? It's like a solid ass apple. It's really sour. If you like sour stuff, it's great. If you don't, it's bad. It's a Granny Smith, baby. Fuji, super solid, beautiful middle of the road apple. Just love them little guys. Classics. Store pretty well, ship pretty well, etc. Sweet Tango was just a little too one-dimensional for me. Leaned a little bit too sucrose-y as opposed to fructose-y. Envies were gorgeous, but they just weren't very good. They were very watermelon-y, very fluidy compared to other apples. Not as much depth, not as much punch in them. And the Sweet Opal just had like a really wildly thick flesh. It was bad. It was weird and bad. I also had a Brayburn, but unfortunately, I rolled the bad Brayburn. It was like to the point that I just bit into it and I was like, no, that's no good. That's not what these are supposed to be.
That's more like it, isn't it?
Hell yeah, brother.
This Belgium French mini adventure hasn't proved to be particularly lucrative on the gastronomic front. We've had some good content, but my God, that has tasted good.
That's amazing, man.
I feel like we've actually found something.
Everything that last burger was missing, this has got.
That's what I love about a simple burger, man, is you can compare it. You can go do all these different fancy foods and shit. You can have all these zhuzhed up, dishes to the next level, layers on layers on layers. But sometimes just a little beef and salt and Maillard reaction on a little toasted bread with a little tasty sauce and some cheese. Like, damn, brother. It's just so good. Like, I don't know what molecules it is, but the human body just like locks onto them and recognizes like, fuck yeah. It's so good.
And it's got a fraction of the ingredients.
It's just meat, bread and sauce.
Yeah, and a little bit of sauce.
I've got a bit of cheese in between, maybe. Yeah, bit of cheese, a bit of sauce, maybe. I'm not even sure.
But yeah, look at that. This is a
cheese in
smash
between,
burger,
maybe.
by the way,
Yeah.
that's been properly smashed. If you see over here, particularly on the left edge of the burger where it's like exposed on the left side, see how that beef just looks like it's all crust? That's how you do it right. You do a really hot grill, you smash it like flat and aggressively so that it does like flatten out against the grill so it's making as much contact as possible. And then you flip it and do the same thing so it's just making as much contact as possible. Like, a well-made smash burger is truly a celebration of the Maillard reaction with salted beef. Like, that's really what it is it's just how much of that can we get on an object while not having it be wildly imbalanced. Man. Burgers are sick. If you want to work on your burger smashing, the first thing is it helps a lot to have a very heavy, flat, big spatula. I asked one for a gift and I got it. So I have a fairly nice big one. But the other thing that can help is using another spatula or another resistant tool. And like when you have the spatula on top of it, push that on top of it and then take another tool or like the handle of it and press down on the spatula. That way you're getting more direct force right on top of the burger. And don't be afraid to like roll it around or whatever if you have to. The other big thing, if you're doing a smash burger, and this is the easiest step to forget. Don't use weights. The easiest step to forget is when you first put it on there, put it on the grill as a ball and smoosh it just a tiny bit and leave it there for just a little bit of time. Then flip it over and use that like little bit of cooked patch. Like it should just be like a little gray. And then smash that down because then that will have a spot where you're not going to stick to the beef. Because otherwise, if you try to just raw dog smash the whole thing down, you're going to pull up your spatula and the whole fucking patty's going to come with it. So make sure you do a little cooked patch, flip it over so you've got that on top, smoosh that down, throw a little salt on it, let it rock.
Bit of cheese, a bit of sauce, maybe. I'm not even sure. Junk. This is far from junk. So,
holy shit, that's so smart. I never would have thought of that. Neither would I. George Motz, hero of the people, the man who re-brought the burger to the human society.
smashing your patties like that gives you like this little texture. It's really enjoyable on your palate because you can break it down, but the texture is also the flavour. That is that part of the meat there. That's where that sweet.
So, Corrigan, what it is, like, George Motz's story is really fascinating to me, at least, because it's not that the burger left society. What it was the commercialization and, like, almost like, how do you put it? like the assembly line optimization of burgers and fast food, as it were, was starting to leave some really beloved American traditions behind, particularly with like local burger craft. Because like there were different, so it's not even capitalism ruined it. It's just, it turned it into something else, right? Like this kind of burger compared to something like McDonald's or Burger King serves you, just two different products entirely. Like it was a thing of just, they have diverged at this point. And so like that one was still carrying on no problem. And then like some of these littler guys were like kind of being forgotten about. The techniques were being lost, that kind of stuff. So he just really like he's done a bunch of books, a bunch of videos, this, that, the other, celebrating all the different varieties of burger. I think he's literally like opening a burger restaurant in New York right now, something like that, where he's like inviting the chefs that make all of his favorite varieties of burger in the world to be a guest chef there for like a week or two and serve their burger cooked by them and like learn under them how to make it, that kind of stuff. Yeah, Hamburger America. It's fucking wild. That guy is like, I love burgers. George Motz makes me look like tiny baby.
Comes out of the beef. Season that properly, which they have.
Yeah.
Cover in a great sauce. That's all the moving parts you're ever going to need for a great burger. Maybe some onions or some pickles in there, a push. But
onions were an option to add for about €1, I think. Yeah, sweet onions. That's the only addition other than jalapenos.
Okay. I probably don't need to go to any other burger shops in Lille. That is magnificent. I don't think it gets a lot better. Before everyone harps on about the bun too, it's still holding together.
It's still dry.
It's not.
That bun almost looks like partially brioche. I don't know what the term for that would be, but it looks like it's like maybe a little more heavily infused with egg and butter.
I don't think it gets a lot better
than a normal bun.
Before everyone harps on about the bun too.
Yeah, it looks like it's maybe a little more aggressively like buttered and egged.
It's still holding together.
Not specifically enriched, no, but like more towards brioche specifically.
It's not wet. It's still dry. It's very sweet and very buttery.
Oh yeah, toast your buns too. Toasting your buns is just a free action that increases the quality of your burger by 1 grade. Just do it. It's just a free action. Just do it. Just toast your fucking buns. Toast your buns, and then also they hold up better to toppings and stuff. So you can be more aggressive with toppings and more experimental and abstract with the order of your layering with the additional integrity of a toasted bun.
I don't understand how that's not further up on Lil's recommendations.
Yeah, it also makes the bread warm, and warm bread is really good.
Not a fashionable
It's really
burger
pleasant
in this part of the world yet. The beef is tremendous. Very rarely do I want to eat all the food on a review, but this is getting absolutely demolished. The more you eat, the better it gets.
Do we lose a little? Oh. Oh. Okay, sick. Sorry, someone gave me a panic attack in chat by saying, did Ty die or did I die? But no, 0 drop frames. That's you.
It's got so much depth to it.
Good. So well balanced. The pickles help break through the meat that's in the sauce.
There's pickles in yours.
They're chopped up in the sauce.
Nice.
Very, very, very diced.
God, that feels good. Our aim and intent is always trying to bring you the best. I know we did, but
Dude, I feel for that so hard. Just like, yeah, just damn.
And Mackey's. And a few other places.
Someone's got to do them.
Someone's got to do them. Our real sort of North Star
you're good.
is to bring you the best. And unplanned.
Thank you. Yeah, just, oh man, especially because as a heads up, I do have some, I have a Xfinity text coming out on Sunday. They specifically asked, okay, yeah, we're going to rush a team out there. We can do Saturday or Sunday. What times are you available? And I was like, okay, I will give you Sunday between 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. And I feel like that's pretty fair. That's a 9-hour window. And you told me 2 days. And then he was like, okay, the only time we have on Sunday is 9 a.m. And I was like, you piece of shit. Yeah, fine. Like, fine.
In my belly group. Okay. Simon, look at these. Look at these chicken. Look at that chicken.
Oh, okay. Panko's not.
Oh, baby.
stereotypical of my favourite.
A
form of
chicken
breading.
side, though.
It's like a Japanese method, isn't it? And
I-
they dry out bread.
Yeah.
It's like processed bread. They dry it out, flake it, and then it gets used as.
No, I really like panko.
You do?
Yeah.
I love panko.
I guess
Panko's got like a really
Love
nice
that crispy-
crisp to
love
it.
that crisp on the outside. Still got some moisture in it too if you squeeze it. Look.
That looks.
All right.
That looks like properly fried panko. Like, can we take a second to appreciate this color real quick? Hold on. Look at that. See how, here we go. Here's a pretty good frame. See how there's like a little bit of browning starting to turn towards maybe black on like the very, very tip. And then the rest of it just works towards a beautiful golden brown. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. That means they took it exactly as far as it needs to be.
That'd be great in a burger.
Looking
shop.
pretty solid. I had a moment of
hybrid.
instant like
Or maybe even a breast of it.
injection to go do my dishes. So I've returned having done that now.
The burger they had.
Butter.
So the whole point of this video was apparently like there's a video before this where they went to a burger place and they were like being very nice and they're like, yeah, the people were very kind, but the product let us down. And it was like, it sounds like it was like one of those like stuffed burger places where they like put a bunch of shit in there and then also layer stuff on top of it. Like he was like, hey, it's or like, like it's like more like a beef roll with stuff inside of it as opposed to a burger. And then they came here, and I'll just let me get a shot of them holding it up.
The complete other end.
Straight away.
Yeah, man.
Look at the crust.
Yeah, dude.
Or the lacy smash patties.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, just a really solid
Just
basic
looks like
burger.
it's singing with flavour. Look at it.
Yeah.
Or the little skirt.
And yeah, so them going, I think too, the thing is like they are talking this up a lot, and I have a feeling part of that is juiced by their relative frustration, it sounds like, at the food not having been very good so far on this trip.
In this part of the world yet.
And yeah, even say they're like, yeah, I don't think this is really picked up in France yet, but fuck me, it's good. Which yeah, they're so
A
good.
couple of these in there.
Yeah, Watertex,
The
thank
hybrid.
you for the resub.
Or maybe even a breast.
You'd assume that burgers would actually be like something France would be all fucking about, given that it's so simple. So simple and very fatty and involves bread.
It's beef and bread. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Beef, cheese, and bread. 3 of France's most favorite
Well done.
things.
Well done. Crunchy. Oh,
Very tender. That sauce. I don't, do we
And
know
you
what
can
the
add
sauce
butter if you want. People do love them a butter burger.
is? What a find.
you just said it best. What a find. What an absolutely brilliant place to end our adventure here in Lille, France.
So funny that like, oh, well, France. I think my sister might have studied there for a bit. I just love that this dude, yo, Mr. Gray, thanks for the sub. I love that they went to France to try all this different stuff, and the place that they ended on, they're like, yeah, this is the best one. This is the best one. It's just a place that just makes regular fucking smash burgers.
We've just ended that on one of the most spectacular burgers I've ever had. And also one of the most simplest, which arcs us back to the point on the last video. Sometimes less is more. Dial down your moving parts. Raise standards. Smash the cooking process out of the park. Understand what you're trying to achieve and make history, because that is
Sensational, mate. It's like honestly one of the best burgers I think I've had.
anyone watching in England worth a trip.
Oh, well worth a trip, I think. I think it competes with the with our burger scene over there.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
It's very different too. Wow. Guys, Time for a score.
It is also, I will say, as a little bit of a home cook myself, it is very good to see these guys try a burger that looks about as close to the burgers I try to make as I think I've ever seen, and have them just popping the fuck off like this.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's what I'm trying to shoot for, man, is that exact burger. So seeing them just eat it and be like, fuck me.
That's what it is with burgers, though, is like fundamentally, I almost feel like getting a restaurant or like ordered burger almost never is as good as one as I'm going to make, but the closer they get, the better they are. Because I don't know, it just needs some extra work to make them yourself and so on. Like as I've said plenty of times before, I don't eat anything out of Five Guys, not because they're not good, but because they're really expensive for a burger that's pretty much just what I would make.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, right now in particular is a really tough time to advise anyone to buy any food from restaurants. Hey, if you've ever wanted to have a time where learning to cook is like extra valuable for you, now is a great time. If you haven't tried cooking before and you're interested, it's a super good time to learn that skill, let me tell you.
Junk, hearing Lil.
Maybe the most effective cost-saving measure you can take.
I'm going to go big. I'm going to give this 9.8. Yeah, a 9.8. That's where I sit. Sensational burger.
That was really good. Where am I going to go? My first score that came to my mind was a 9.9. And
I'm just glad for my boys to be having a good time. The Force Roman Cancel brothers out here getting the good burgers.
I know what you're thinking. Don't ask. Don't ask. I don't know. It's a 9.9. Junk here and Lil, that could be one of the best burgers in the world. They have got something very special there. Balance, poise, and exceptional produce. What a video. Well done, mate. Thanks for coming. Great trip. Dan, cheers, mate.
Always a pleasure.
It all ended well because he just had the world's best fucking burger as far as he's concerned.
Another thing, we've been here for about 40 minutes. I haven't seen anyone else go in there yet. Since we've been here, not one person has gone in that shop.
This was in central London. The queue would be right in the
I will say, Junk,
People.
dog shit name for a burger place.
A sleeping giant. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe. We'll see you again very soon. Run these numbers up. If we get 3,000 thumbs up, on
I'm
this
so
video,
glad to
that
see
will blow me away.
the boys
I love you
living.
so much.
All right. Well, yeah. We gotta do one. And this is also why I had to stop streaming on YouTube. This MF loves getting me demonetized. Epidemic Sound, log off. That's a cool cat. God, now I want a burger. Yeah, burgers tend to do that. A good burger is like a good fighting game. You watch someone engage with it and you go, fuck, I want in on that. Like, that's just how it works. Damn, I want in on that, man.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Joe. This is the Joe is Hungry channel, delivered directly to you by the car hop of your choice right here within the city limits of Fairmount, Georgia. Since you've already seen the title, you know we're headed over to Sonic to check out their new menu item, the Peanut Butter Bacon Supersonic Cheeseburger. Before we go any further, I would like to extend...
Oh my God. They're doing a Purvis? They're doing a Purvis burger, dude? They're doing a Purvis burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just doing a Dwayne Purvis, dude. They're doing a bad Dwayne Purvis. I'm excited to see it. For those of you who aren't, sorry, I'm saying Dwayne Purvis a lot, like everyone knows what that means.
Yeah, people know what that means for sure. Absolutely.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
I know what it means, but most people probably don't.
So the original place, and the place that, as far as everyone knows, and historians seem to agree, has the claim to the first place to do a peanut butter burger, was the Triple X Diner in West Lafayette, Indiana, Purdue University, where I got my mechanical engineering degree. And it was named after a football player who demanded it repeatedly, Dwayne Purvis, or I think like maybe he just like brought peanut butter in and like did it one day. There's a couple stories. And so it just became like their thing, and it became one of the big ones they do. A good peanut butter burger can really hit. It can work really, really well, but it takes a pretty specific build and usually less peanut butter than people who want a peanut butter burger are going to be excited about, because like peanut butter is really overwhelming and really cloying.
It's very powerfully flavored.
Yeah, you have to be super delicate with it. And most places are just going to be like, here's 2 tablespoons of fucking whatever generic Jif peanut butter we have with a burger on it. And that's not going to work.
That's not what you want. You want a real proper peanut butter burger should probably start from peanuts. And then just, throw them in a fucking not blender, but food processor till it's smooth. And then you put like maybe 1 tablespoon, 2 teaspoons maybe of it on the burger. It'll melt into it a little bit. It'll it'll be intensely savory and fatty to go along with the beef and whatnot.
Speaking of which, that is one thing that is so fucked about. First of all, hi, I'm mentioning this burger and the history of it. Don't go to the Triple X Diner at West Lafayette, Indiana. It fucking sucks. It's a really bad diner. One time when I was there after coming back from the Cactus Club after getting turnt with the gang, my buddy Sam had fallen into a bush. And we didn't realize it at the time, but Sam had like slashed his arm open like pretty good. Like it was like, I want to say, like basically like just straight across here. Like he had just like a really deep cut. And I mean, we were super drunk, right? Like it was college clubbing. Like I was less super drunk than the rest of them, but they were supremely drunk. So Sam had, cut his arm open a bit. We were at the Triple X and we were all ordering food, getting our stuff, etc. Go to Jake's Tap House. Fuck you, Jake. I'm glad your shit closed. You don't know what you're doing, bro. So yeah, Sam had cut his arm open. We're sitting there, we're ordering stuff. We're waiting at the counter at this little diner. We finally realize that Sam is bleeding because just as, we're talking and moving around, we notice there is a red pool on the table underneath where Sam's arm was. Okay, that's fine. That's not their problem or whatever. So we mentioned, we're just like, hey, we just need something to clean this up. And like, if you have any paper towels, we could like wrap that in or something. And they just wipe it with like a towel that they're wiping everything with casually, like their generic table wiping towel. And they just wipe off the blood and don't do anything else. I never ate at the Triple X again. I think you can understand why if you've ever been in food service. That's like at the very top of the list of things you don't do in the food service industry. Holy shit. Do not let human blood enter the food or near the food or be around people. It has to sequester.
At all.
You have to sequester it. You have to fully sequester it. Yeah, like you have to pull out a bespoke thing of cleaner, clean it up, sanitize it, clean it another time, and then we can move on with our life. Yeah, you can't just like dump blood on a table and then wipe it off and be like, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't complain. It's fine. But yeah, so that was really bad. Don't eat there. Also, the food's not very good. They don't make burgers good. You're legitimately just so much better off just making your own. And as far as the construction goes and how I mentioned the construction of the peanut butter burger, I think is important. They do it wrong at the Triple X IMO. So Doc, you were saying, where did you think the peanut butter should go?
It should go, I think, on the top, actually, because it'll melt in.
On top of the beef, so that it melts and becomes a little bit more savory, mixes with the beef juices and greases to create like a more savory peanut experience.
If it's on the bottom, then it's interfering with whatever. Usually the peanut butter burger doesn't have any like veg on it, but if there was anything down there, it'd be slippery at that point and not work very well. And it would contribute to the bottom bun getting soggier.
So the way they do it at the Duane Purvis at Triple X is specifically cheese, onion, lettuce, pickle on top, and a big slathering, like a tablespoon and a half of peanut butter on the bottom bun, just sitting there, just vibing.
Yeah. Nah.
It's not the way I'd do it. It's not. Yeah, not the way I'd do it.
It's weird because most of the time putting something on top of the patty is actually the wrong option.
Yeah.
But this is one of those cases where the peanut butter actually should be on the top.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a case of like, do you want something to get warmer before you serve it? Do you want the cheese to melt? Yeah, put it on top. You want the peanut butter to melt a little bit?
You want the peanut butter to get warm. That's exactly how that works.
Anybody would count the cuts in my bite test. Shout out to Andy and your son James. I really like.
I never thought I would count the cuts in my bite test. You're not very creative, Joe. I did that immediately. That was the first thing I did, Joe.
Talking to you, Ryan Carter, Mike, Reese, and Ariana, Branson, Gabe, Loth, Grant, and Cadence, Logan, Tyler, Pat, and Teresa, Thea, Chris, Larry, and Oliver. I want to wish a very special Joe's Hungry birthday shout out to each and every one of you. With all that out of the way, the peanut butter bacon cheeseburger is made with one beef.
God, he really went so hard on the TikToking. The thing too is like peanut butter bacon is. I feel like it's like it's like the lazy man's way to compensate for the peanut butter though. It's just like, yeah, just make it extra salty and extra savory to offset the peanut butter. And like, okay.
Patty, creamy peanut butter, crispy
I mean, the peanut butter is probably going to be pretty salty to begin with. So like,
it depends. Yeah, that is the case.
American cheese on a toasted bakery style bun. Each single burger will pluck $5.69 from your already bleeding wallet. Make it a double version for $6.59 before taxes in Georgia. At the time of filming
1220 calories for like $6.
Okay, so that's just Jif peanut butter then.
Yeah, that's just Jif.
That's
Also,
very, very heavily sugared peanut butter.
What kills me about this too is like, if Joe wanted to do a metric that was like useful, price per weight is nothing. Price per calories, there is a universe at the end of time, a very sad universe that we don't actually live in and never will, but like Doom people always love to pretend we will, where calories is like the most important metric. Weight is never the most. I would go as far as to say weight is a detriment at some point in that universe. You want foods that are dense but light.
this video, there was no combo option on their app or their website. Each one of these will gouge an 870 calorie whole
Temperature
in
per
your
dollar.
daily
If you're
calorie
doing-
count. I have the stats on the screen. And in the
If you're doing a cross-country hike, price per calorie is a good option, I think.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, yeah.
Burger number one weighs in at
Which I guess means a very, very specific kind of unhoused person. Price per calorie also matters, but
Yeah.
yeah, but you know that.
Okay, yeah, I mean, for
That's
what it's worth, yeah, that was something that I cared about when I was in college. That's a good point. Yeah, when I was really low on money and I was just like living on the $1 and $2 menu at Taco Bell for like an entire summer.
Yeah.
Use those numbers, do a little bit of fuzzy math, and extrapolate a
Thank God for the Taco Bell $1 menu fucking saved my life one summer. It was like that or eating food from work.
So let's find out and roll the drive-through ad.
All right, so he's not even remotely mentioning the fact that this is a pre-existing kind of burger. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
This guy
He
does
doesn't.
not watch nearly enough George Moats, if at all.
This guy, yeah, that would, you're expecting Joe to learn. That's fucking crazy. That's never happening.
Yeah.
Thank you for choosing Sonic. My name is Faith. What can I get for
Does
you?
he know? Absolutely not. No chance. No shot.
Cheeseburger.
Did you want the double cheeseburger or just the regular cheeseburger?
The regular cheeseburger.
Okay. Anything else for you?
No, that's it.
Okay. Your total is going to be $24.35.
Thank you.
It's actually also one of those times where getting a double cheeseburger would have been better for this. My opinion, anyway.
Extremely, yeah. It's there is no way it's gonna balance with a single with the amount of peanut butter they put on, but like a double with the amount of peanut butter they put on, maybe.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking.
It was $24.35 for like 3 or 4 burgers. It looked like.
Why do you judge that? The entire thing is the food, man. It's not like you're not judging the entirety of Sonic's service. Why did you include that anymore?
It's because he does.
Joe.
It's because he does. He says he doesn't, but
shouldn't.
he literally always does. I mean, he's giving things bad scores because a mall cop yelled at him in Annie Mae's.
Yes, I know. I'm just mad because he shouldn't. I know he does it, but he shouldn't.
You're right.
I've got my peanut butter bacons. Let's pull off.
Also, 5 minutes for his wild ass order of like 4 big identical specialty burgers. Yeah, that's 5 minutes is incredible for that.
And dude, the Joe is
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not okay. That's cracked is what that is. The Sonic's really fucking fast.
Tad. Peanut butter bacon number one is 100.
Where is that thermometer? Where did it end up? Tell me what it's stuck into. What is it stuck into right now, Joe? What part of the burger? Tell me. Right? Yeah?
Yeah, do you have a perfect guarantee that that's in the beef, man? Do you have perfect guarantee that that's in the beef and not specifically like also connecting with the peanut butter or something else that's bringing the temperature down a lot? You have no actual way to say that this is the exact appropriate temperature of this burger. It would involve, it's much more subjective on any given piece of it.
This is also a big part of why when like people are like, yeah, he's trying to be scientific, he's doing temperature tests and weight and stuff. I'm like, but his methodology sucks. And the only thing he knows is that he needs to tear his scale. And then like nothing else.
134.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Peanut butter bacon number 2 is 129.0 degrees Fahrenheit. Peanut butter bacon number 3 is 134.2 degrees Fahrenheit. If you watch my channel,
like even if you feel it push into the meat, it's still inconsistent.
I like my food a little bit hotter.
Also, 135 is so fine for a burger. It's a small, but like if they're smash patties, they cool off pretty fast.
So I think you know what's coming next. Sonic, Adairsville. You failed.
Joe, you failed basic food safety and understanding a cookie, bro.
The Joe is hungry temperature test. So now it's time to peel back the layers, fire up the scales, sharpen the knives, head back to the studios, and do the Joe is hungry weight test.
Did you know that up until like I want to say it was 2000 or so, burger places actually would literally cook burgers to medium. They wouldn't do the standard well done these days. If you did not specify it was to medium, it became standard and like demanded by the FDA that they in fact do things to well done by default unless requested otherwise. After an Ebola, the E. coli outbreak, not Ebola. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, my mouth was dumb.
Yeah.
And as usual, every time we take off for the
and he
packaging,
apparently doesn't remember that at all.
On the scales.
Why would you set the tear for the packaging and not just remove the packaging before you weigh it? Right?
Yeah.
I love when bad engineers add extra steps. That's one of my favorite things is watching a sloppy engineer just feel the need to add extra steps. No, that's the most boomer shit on the planet. That in particular, that engineering habit of just never refining your technique, never cutting it down, and just doing things because it's the way you've done them, that is boomer engineer shit. Take it from somebody who almost threw hands at some boomer engineers over this exact kind of shit. It's frustrating.
Peanut butter bacon number 1 is 7.45 ounces. Peanut butter bacon number 2 is 7.75 ounces. Peanut butter bacon number 3 weighs in at 7.60 ounces or 215 grams. Well, if you look at those weights, they're all pretty close to each other. So today, Sonic, Adairsville, you pass the Joe is Hungry consistency weight test.
They're extremely close to each other. They're only 0.15 ounces away from one another each. Like, that's it.
And that's the thing, right? If he was doing good engineering and like getting good numbers and whatnot, he would have a definite value where it's a failure, like a percentage, from the median or whatever. Like there would be a formula happening. Tom Scott wouldn't stand for this shit. The stand-up math guy,
absolutely
he'd
not.
Be fucking livid. There's no technique. Hell, even the Veritasum guy would be like, whoa, this is a little too much of a fluff piece for me. We need a little more density in here, brother. Like...
Now, if you look back at the steak butter bacon that I did back in 2020, it kind of looks like Sonic's got a little bit of burger downsizing going on, but I can't.
Everyone's
really
doing burger downsizing, man.
It's universal.
It's shrinkflation. You can universal. Prove it. It's universal. It's been going on to every single industry in the goddamn in food. Everything is getting shrinkflation. That's happening.
Yeah,
man, it's just happening. You have to recognize it.
Yeah, like there are 2 easy and straightforward ways to reduce to like get your margins more in order when it comes to food. 1, make the food more expensive. 2, make the food smaller. Those are the 2 options. Make them pay the same amount for slightly less, or make them pay slightly more for the same. That's That's all you fucking get, brother. Those are the two ways it can happen. And like, especially right now where logistical prices are fucking out of control. Yeah, man, a lot of them are making the food small. It just is what it is. Like, also for what it's worth, the part that makes it extra thorny is America went so full, like all out on making the food as big as possible for a while that there was a point where we did need to pull back.
Yeah, we are to some degree reaping what we sowed on that front. So
yeah, like,
I'm not mad about food getting smaller. I'm actually more mad about food getting more expensive and smaller. The fact that both are happening.
That's what it is. It's that it's happening on both sides. That's what feels really, really bad about it. Yeah. Yeah, U.S. food sizing in general was completely out of hand. It's been pulled back a lot in line over the last like decade or so. But again, largely for either the same price or more expensive. So it's just brutal.
Because Sonic fails to provide anybody with serving weights. So today, I can neither pass nor fail them on the Joe is Hungry weight test. Now, if you add them all up, average them out, do the math, you come up with a high, middle of the road, 75 cents an ounce. So, with that being said, now it's time to do the Joe is Hungry big reveal.
And like I say it every time, but the part that's so brutal. Yo, Kiltamer, thanks for giving us a bunch of Flare Sword. Yo, thank you. And enjoy your ad-free experience. What kills me about his like weight thing is you need to weigh these ingredients separately. If you give, again, another case of his system is bad and useless and he's doing bad engineering and not thinking about what the results mean. Because as soon as you do, that's what it is, right? It's just like, as soon as you think, what do my results mean? Like, what does this data entail? You realize nothing. I've gathered useless data. I've gathered absolutely fucking worthless data with no implications whatsoever. As opposed to if he broke it down and like weighed the beef and weighed the bacon and weighed the cheese and weighed the bread and stuff, that would at least be like something. There would be information there that's useful. You could see like how much beef are they actually putting on there, that kind of stuff. And yeah, exactly. Yeah, consistent weight is also flawed. It just, you need to hit a minimum weight. If someone gives you more than what was expected and more than what you paid for, like, cool.
Yeah, are you going to complain about that? I fucking wouldn't.
Joe will, because he doesn't understand how the world works. Yeah, he doesn't understand what results mean.
Let me tell you about this place that I order food from with surprising frequency at this point that actually does a short rib meal. Most of the time you order something that is a short rib meal, they'll give you one short rib. I've gotten up to 3 from these guys before.
This
Yeah.
is what it looks like, and this is what it is actually supposed to look like. We've seen what it looks like, and it kind of remotely resembles the sad photos. I was expecting a little bit more peanut butter to become squishing out, but I don't see it.
So, yeah.
And they have the appropriate amount of peanut butter on it then.
Yeah, and Il Sadaka basically put the exact thing that I was going to mention, which thank you, very well written there. One of the reasons fast food photography does this is to show you that all the ingredients on the thing clearly, which I'm pretty sure is required to do because of advertising laws. The burger will never look like ads because preparation often results in some ingredients being hidden by the bun. It's so easy to look up how food photography works if you're interested, Joseph. Yeah, that's really what it is. Like, there are certain things, like you have to display certain elements. There's also grocerying, where you like very intentionally turn the angle of the thing so more of it is exposed and like kind of like flare it out a little bit. Also, there was a long time where food photography, like in certain countries, wasn't allowed to be of real food. It was
including the United States until like 1990.
Yeah, the United States being
it was
the
recent.
Big one. Yeah, it's way more recent than you realize. Yeah, it's crazy how early it is, or how recent it is.
It's like required to use props until like 1990, and a lot of places continued to use props because that was just the way that they.
And they've gotten very good at it.
They'd gotten good at it and were, used to it, and it wasn't disallowed to use the props.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find like when exactly it was of when, because I know they literally changed it to like the food has to be an image of a real item, whereas it used to be like the exact opposite for some strange reason. Yeah.
Not that I'm complaining. but that only leaves one more test.
Also, yeah, that's another
and that
thing
would
too.
be-
To do good photography, and I can tell you this firsthand as I stare directly into the second sun I have in the middle of my office, known as my ring light. Photography lights get really hot. This is like an LED assembly that should theoretically put out near zero temperature, and I still can feel a little bit of warmth coming off that bad boy. Full food like photo studios and photo studios in general have so many lights of so many types, and they all put out heat. So if you're trying to like film, like ice cream or something, right? You have what, like, all right,
It melts almost instantly.
Yeah, you have 3 minutes to get the shot before we have to put it in the freezer and get more ice cream.
And if we're talking about professional photography, nothing takes only like 3 minutes. They're going to get the perfect angle. They're going to get like a perfect, like, focal like length on it.
They're going to
a perfect shot.
they're
And
gonna
it's going to take like
75.
10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, they're
like
going to
it's
take
going
like 75 to 100 photos and then decide which 2 you like. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why ice cream is like glue or mashed potatoes or whatever.
The one and only.
Yeah.
The Joe is hungry. Bite test. So it is. Bite test. Engage.
He's gonna fucking love this, right? Because it's like really whatever, and it's got a creamy element.
Friends, I think I have a feeling, honestly, the flavor profile is too exciting for him.
You know what? That's actually a good take. It is a pretty weird flavor if you're not used to it.
It's not something you're used to. Yeah.
Yeah, like savory peanut butter applications with like beef and chicken are very, very good. But I have a feeling his only experience from that is like peanut chicken, which is like a very dressed up, very lightly peanutted version compared to something like this.
Yeah. My guy has never once had peanut butter soup in his life. And I'm talking like proper Ugandan peanut butter soup. The good shit. His faces have gone through every emotion. All artificial,
Dry.
but they have gone through them.
Dry. That's
Yeah.
the big thing. That is the one thing I can glean from him 100% is dry. And I can also look at the burger and confirm dry.
It's really not that bad of a cheeseburger. The bacon was actually crispy and I could taste it. I can even taste the cheese. But the peanut butter? Guys, I just don't get it. I know some of you go gaga over the peanut butter and the hamburger thing.
Like I said,
And I get it. You like it.
it's too exciting of a flavor profile for him.
I get it. You like it. I don't think you do get it, man. I think you explicitly don't. I think it's okay for you to say, I don't get it, but I'm glad other people like it. That's fine. That can be true. You can just say, it's not for me, but it makes other people happy and it's not hurting anyone, so I don't fucking care. Like that's totally acceptable. That's a fine statement to make. Very weird to be like, yeah, I don't get it.
But to me, it's just a sticky distraction put on a mid hamburger to
It feels weird to hear Joe said mid.
Joe's not allowed to say mid. Sorry, Joe. Until you block this /, your ass can't say mid. Until you smoke weed with me behind the fucking high school, you can't say mid. Sorry, man. Sorry.
Say mediocre. You're allowed to say the whole thing. Just don't say mid.
Yeah, you can say mediocre hamburger or average hamburger, but no, you haven't smoked enough weed to say mid, man. Sorry.
Sonic burgers are not mid burgers. They're pretty bad burgers.
They're pretty bad. Yeah, they're below mid. They're like notably below mid. Yeah. Also, sticky distraction. Would you describe peanut butter as sticky?
Kinda. I mean, it sticks like a motherfucker to the spoon, but like that's about it.
Yeah. Not to my mouth though. I don't know. Maybe to the roof of my mouth a little bit. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
a
to the
little
roof of your
sticky.
mouth. Okay, a little sticky.
I think my big complaint here is it is definitely not in the first 5 words I would use to describe peanut butter. Like there is absolutely a
it's
small
creamy.
cavalcade. Creamy, yeah, nutty, obviously, very salty, often very rich, very
Or
fatty,
chunky, depending.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to talk about this.
get a little bit of an upcharge. With that being said, let's see what Shadow Joe has to say and do.
Joe is hungry. Sneak a doodle bite.
You know, they
He
originally
ordered 4 this time, so this
Yeah.
the Sneaky Bite is acceptable. But
Yeah, which you can tell because all the burgers were close. You can always tell when he orders an extra one to Sneakadoodle because the food ends up weighing the same. When he doesn't, you can tell because one of the items weighs less than the others. It's so crazy. Yeah, they released Shadow Joe after like the original build of Killer Instinct, and like, yeah, people just didn't like him as much as original Joe.
You're only doing one bite again, boss?
You guessed it, just one.
What kills me about that is that means
wait,
this
hold
was
on.
like
Shadow Joe is your boss? Shadow Joe is the real Joe?
this. What kills me about this is like he's pre-writing these, which means this is him
Yeah.
really giving it the beans. This is him like premeditating a comedy, and this is what he's got for us. This is his coup de grace. I'm gonna take one bite. Yeah, you are. Thanks, man.
Somebody put peanut butter in my hamburger. I'm not really sure it's doing anything for me. It's kind of sticking to the roof of my mouth. So let's move on with this video.
I think the
It's
flaw
only a little
flaw with
bitter,
this, for
straight
what
out of
it's
the garden.
worth, is the fact that Sonic burgers are dry as fuck.
Yes.
So like that, and that's going to be the self-sabotaging nature of this by itself. The thing that he's not willing to give is that it's a problem with the burger and not the peanut butter.
Through,
Yeah.
and only minimally so. So now it's time
If anything, the peanut butter is probably lightly saving this thing.
give this thing a score. And if you don't know my scale is 1 to 10, 9 being the best. Anything above 9 is a once lifetime experience and almost never achieved. 5 and down is that
If this is his best, imagine what bits he scrapped. I can't danger. That is one place my brain cannot go. I cannot turn off enough creativity neurons. I'm specced
Imagine
right
his-
out of being able to have a Joe imagination. I'm sorry.
Imagine what bits he scrapped. You think that this dude scraps a single goddamn thing? You think that this dude does not do a fucking,
I think you're the
John
fake Joe who's
Davis,
hungry
like, oh
around
yeah,
you.
I'll just put
Joe
down
and Shadow
anything
Joe
and I'll
begin
make like
racing to the
4
sour cream bean.
Garfields a day. And I won't throw out a single joke because obviously they're all as good as each other.
Oh, one and done Joey, baby. And yo, thank you so much for the donation. Oh.
that all too familiar slippery slope to the pits and depths of fast
Yeah, like
food
I've done
hell.
peanut butter
So
on a
let's go
mid
ahead
burger.
and give
It's
Jim
like-
the
Davis.
number
Sorry,
that it
yes.
It's just
truly
still a bad burger.
deserves.
Yes,
Just
I
never
know I said John Davis.
I think it's actually good to get Jim Davis's name wrong for the record. I think that's like something you can't try. You can't be like, got his ass over misidentifying the creator of Garfield. Like, what? Oh, look at this bitch doesn't know everything about Garfield off the cuff. What? What's wrong with you?
Sonic,
I've watched enough Lasagna Cat that I should know Jim Davis's name, though.
I was in high school for 2
This is
years
nothing but a
at
myth.
Ball State
Bacon
University,
cheeseburger
so
with
same.
some peanut butter smeared in it.
By all means, it shouldn't be a this motherfucker, but in my case, actually, it is a this motherfucker, said John Davis.
Sonic, I'm gonna have to go 5.4. That is my number. This is my review. And
Yeah.
hopefully I
Yeah,
will see
man.
you all again.
That sounds about right. But you,
in the next-
again, I actually would probably agree that it's like around there, but not because of the peanut butter. It's mainly just because Sonic burgers suck.
Yeah, they're super bad. Yeah, they're not good. They're not good burgers, and the butter isn't gonna like do a lot for them. I don't think we watched this one because I think the last one we watched was Mr. Beast. So we do have this. New
Did Joe
brisket.
give a good review to the Mr. Beast burger because he wanted to become like good in the eyes of Mr. Beast or something?
I think it ended up being like super like average or whatever.
That sounds about right.
Like, yeah. Oh, he hated it. Right? He gave it one of the lowest scores we ever had. Which no.
Kurt Cobain.
What did you think was gonna happen?
I think he thought that that was like screwed on tight, and it wasn't.
He just spun it like too far from the edge. Like it's just leaving is all it is. Like you yeah. Is Joe about to again, like I said, terrible engineer. I'm sorry. He's just not a good an engineer would have foreseen this outcome. I would have known this was going to happen because I'm trained. Aww. Adorable cat.
It's a good beast.
Yeah, no, he had the cap off on purpose.
Welcome everybody. Happy New Year. My name is Joe, and
Sorry, there's a really weird vibe on the intro.
Chopped, pressed, sliced, and served lukewarm.
Yeah,
here within
he
the
was
city
like
limits
deadly
of
staring
Fairmount,
at you right
Georgia.
in the
I'd like to
eyes.
extend a
You
very
know?
special shout out to Ty at my local Aldi's. Thank you for watching my channel. Shout out to Metal, Brian.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's not me. Also, I have a feeling. How do you spell that? I don't know if that's how.
It was probably TY.
Probably TY or like yeah.
My local Aldi's. Thank you for watching my channel. Shout out to Metal, Brian, Bradley, and Ballard.
Or TAI,
Mike,
yeah.
Tyler and Kenneth, Manleo, Jeevans, Donovan. Happy birthday and many more to come. I would also like to wish a very special belated happy birthday to my
I've just never seen TI as a name.
favorite Twitch streamer of all time, Amaru.
Ty Tuesday. You're well. You know what? I'm willing to bet you have watched 0 minutes of this creator's content.
Amaru,
1.4 million followers. Yeah, I think I know why you like him.
my hero.
I think I know why you like
I
him.
wish you many more to come.
I have an idea, Joe.
The re-release of Arby's limited time offer, the brisket bacon beef and cheddar sandwich, and I last reviewed this in 2019.
It's called the bacon.
Oh, this, for what it's worth, chat, this is like the 5th time Joe has been like, my favorite Twitch streamer ever, and then posted someone with a follower count of over 1 million and being like, please keep exposing me to people, please!
Beef and cheddar sandwich. It's a mouthful. I have trouble saying.
Which is constructed with roast beef, smoked brisket, and bacon, cheddar cheese sauce, red ranch sauce on a toasted onion roll. A single sandwich will load your diet down with 760 calories. I have the nutritional information on the screen and in the description below. Each one of these will debit your account to the tune of $6.99. Make it a medium combo for $11.68 before taxes in Georgia. Curiously, Arby's does post serving weights in their nutritional information. Are you paying attention? Burger King, Taco Bell, Little Caesars.
He mentioned in an ancient video
you know
he's a nurse now. Oh, that sucks. I mean, that makes sense for what it's worth. I've known some nurses who had some... I've known mostly nurses who are incredible, and then I've seen the occasional nurse with some of the wildest fucking takes I've ever seen, and I have a feeling it's mostly because they are worked too hard. And so it occasionally makes them think things like, vaccines are going to kill me even though I work in a hospital. Like, you know,
This
things
is
like
good for
that.
us. Maybe not so much for Arby's, but we'll see
Yeah,
about
there's
that
some
later.
extremely
Each
worse
one of these is supposed
nurses.
to weigh in at 304 grams or 10.72 ounces. If you break out the Joe is Hungry calculator, do a little bit of fuzzy cat math, you're going to come up with the unverified, high, middle of the road, fast food, 65 cents an ounce. And before we can see if any of these numbers are real, we need to break out the
High,
thermometer,
middle
find
of
the
the
meat,
road.
roll the drive-through ad.
Arby's in Calhoun, Georgia.
Bodega? Okay, I'm into this.
Be with you in a minute.
Okay. Oh, that's not good.
You good order, hon?
1 second.
This is a fucking bit right here, like in a different show. Like I could see I think you should leave where fucking Tim Robinson is being one of these YouTube food review guys, and he's sitting outside. It's like, oh shit, all my fucking cameras are
falling apart. God damn it! I'm sorry. 1 second. My goddamn
I'm
microphone
sorry.
is...
1 second. I'll order in a second.
I'll order in a minute. Once. Hold on. You made me hold on. Now you hold on.
That'd be a good sketch.
That'd be a good bit. I'd like it. Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem.
Could I get 3 brisket bacon beef and cheddar burgers?
Okay, the meals or just the sandwiches?
Just the sandwiches.
Okay, what else?
That's it.
$29.92, hon. Drive window. Thank you.
Thank you.
$29.92. Oof. Arby's.
For Arby's, yeah, for Arby's, for a regular sized Arby's sandwich.
Like the pictures of them like absolutely fucking stacked to the brim. They ain't gonna be that stacked.
Also, the fact that they're like labeling it as LTO is maybe the most pathetic thing I've ever seen in my life. LTO is also known as default in the food industry. Lettuce, tomato, onion, also known as the default sandwich fixins. People say LTO because it's just faster than always naming lettuce, tomato, onion, because it's always those three on like 99%. Or is this limited time offer? Even worse. Even more pathetic. What do you mean a beef and cheddar is limited time? Fuck you, Arby's. That's even worse.
Limited time offer is the price the limited time offer actually as well? Because if that's the case, that this is the cheaper price for now. Ugh. Arby's.
Also, who uses LTO for limited time offer? I'm checking this. LTO, Google, what do we get? Linear tape open, land transportation office, LTO network, linear tape open tape. What is the meaning of LTO? Land transportation office. Who is lithium titanate cells? The desktop LTO drives, LTO Ultram, LTO tape technology. Okay, no one. Good to know.
Sandwiches. Let's pull off the side and do. The Joe is hungry. Temperature test.
Lettuce, tomato, onion, I have heard all the fucking time.
Brisket bacon number 1 is a balmy 133.3 degrees Fahrenheit. Brisket bacon number 2 is 128.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Brisket bacon number 3 is 118.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's LTO because Joe is transporting it by land from Arby's to his studio.
And I know the way Arby's prepares their
Someone
food,
says it.
They're probably
Thank you,
burn
Flare
the
Sword.
skin off the roof of my mouth. So unfortunately today, I really can't give them a pass.
Oh wait, hold on a second. You know how Arby's produces their food, and thus you know that it will never get that high, but you're still going to get them to fail it.
And I know the way
Is it just by
Arby's
default
prepares their
Arby's
food,
always fails
they're
it?
probably never gonna
That's
burn the
okay,
skin
I
off
guess.
the roof of my
Yeah, like, what? Like, I know this isn't supposed to be served at the temperature I want it at, but I'm a fucking little weirdo who wants them to make it hotter anyway. What the fuck? What?
mouth. So unfortunately today, I really can't give them a pass.
It's probably never going to burn the skin off the roof of my mouth. That's good, man.
On the Joe is hungry temperature test. Now it's time to break out the
There is
scale,
exactly
sharpen the
one
knives,
circumstance
get
where I
the
want
meat
that to
microscope
happen.
ready, head back
That
to
is
studio
if I am
then.
camping and I just made some beef stew.
Yeah.
The Joe is hungry weight test. And once again, we take off for the packaging. In other words, we set the chair on the scales.
Great.
Brisket bacon number 1 is 10.4.
I don't like when Joe's like being cute. I think that sucks.
0 ounces. Brisket bacon number 2.
Wait, no, it says LTO on the wrapper. Do they really label them limited time offer? That's fucking pathetic. Holy shit. The FAFO or the like fear, the FOMO culture around food. That's like the last bastion if we're running out of ideas. Yeah.
2 is 11.50 ounces. Bacon brisket
I've
number 3
never
weighs in
once
at
fallen for
9.95
FOMO
ounces,
on
or
food.
280.
I don't even know where that comes from, really. Like,
Same.
oh, I'm sorry. I guess I missed out on you making. I missed out on the McRib again, I guess. Sure, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I get one McRib every time they're back, and I'm like, yeah, I enjoyed that. That's all I want. I'm like, okay, thanks for starting the timer again. Yeah, like calling a bacon beef and cheddar, even if you are claiming it's a different beef as a limited time thing for like a special thing. Bitch, all Arby's does is beef and cheddar. Like, that's all you do in your fucking house. That's all you do in your house is bacon, beef, and cheddar. That's all you do in your house is beef and cheddar with a little something on top, bro.
So today, I can't give him a pass on the Joe is hungry consistency weight.
How far
So
off were
today,
they?
182 grams, 0 ounces. Bacon brisket number 3
There was
weighs
one
in
that
at
was a full
9.95
ounce, I guess. Oh, no, never mind. Not even a full ounce. It's 0.55. That's it.
Also,
half of an ounce.
Also, we confirmed, by the way, that he did order 3 and only 3. So if there is a sneakadoodle, we know which one it was.
Ounces or 282 grams. There's an ounce and a half spread between the heaviest and the lightest. So today, I can't give him a pass on the Joe is Hungry consistency weight test. Now, the average weight is even slightly.
I know this is the dumbest nitpick in the world. This is like my little bit of just like being a decent public speaker brain. Saying consistency weight test instead of weight consistency test just sucks. It's just really bad. It's like a really bad way to do it. It sounds worse. It should just be the weight consistency test because you're testing the consistency of the weight. You're not weighing the consistency. Yeah. It's just bad writing.
Weight. It's kind of really close. Let me know what you think. But today, I'm going to give him a fail on the Joe is Hungry weight test. Now, if you add them all up, average them out, you come up with a 1 cent increase to 66.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did he say it barely fell short? Once again, if this fucker did a sneakadoodle bite, we saw his ass order 3. So if it's barely short out of the 3, that's his fault.
The one and only, the Joe is Hungry big reveal.
Yep. What is an Arby's sandwich? A miserable pile of beef and cheddar on a really kind of ugly onion bun. It's funny to see that Arby's still looks exactly the fucking same as it did when I was like 8 years old, though.
So like the brisket on this isn't. It's not corned beef.
Yeah.
And it's not like brisket ass brisket. It's just roast brisket. Which there is almost no real benefit to do brisket over like any other kind of roast meat, like roasting beef at that point.
Also, real talk, this Arby's fucking shorted my man on the cheese sauce. There's supposed to be so much more cheese sauce on the beef and cheddar.
Kind of mad that I wish I had that scimitar knife.
This is what it looks like.
Like, I'd have actual uses for it.
This is what it looks like, and this is what it's supposed to look like. We've seen what it looks like. We saw how much it was. It didn't really do good on the temperature test.
Why does that make me so much angrier than everything else? His just core misunderstanding of the temperature needs to be evaluated against the goal temperature of the product and not just some arbitrary, I want it to possibly wound me temperature that this little fucking freak wants. Drives me crazy, dude. Like, Joe, what are you saying? Do you hear yourself, Joe? I'm gonna take a bite of a sugar bee and calm down. That was a good one, too. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Damn, that's good.
Weight test, it didn't really scrape by, but I did notice one thing about it. It has 4 slices of bacon. They're whole slices of bacon folded over. Wendy's, are you taking notes?
This cost you $3 more than the Wendy's sandwich, you dumb motherfucker.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Anyway, we need to do the final test, the real definitive test, the Joe is Hungry bite test. So it is bite test, engage.
Oh, he loves it though. It's Arby's. Oh, little white boy, no taste buds, love an Arby. Yum, a lightly warmed pile of very heavily salted meats with a little cheese and an onion bun. I can't tell if this is shaking head in disappointment or shaking head in love, but because the thing is, he claims he knows how it's made, and he's really like disgusted by that, but then he's still eating it because like. Gotta watch the VOD to see if Cosmic Crisp made it on there. Yeah, that was one of them that got mentioned for sure. That was one of them that you'll have to watch the whole video to find out where it landed.
I can taste all the individual ingredients. They all work well together. Not one ingredient overwhelms the others.
It tastes like a pile of salty meat, bro. I guarantee you it tastes like a fucking pile of salty meat.
I can taste the roast beef. I can taste the smokiness of the brisket. Even the onion bread works well. And amazingly enough, they don't even skimp on the bacon. You may ask, is this just as good out of the drive-thru as when you get it home and reheat it? Well, let's bend a little time and ask my evil twin and do the Joe is hungry sneak-a-doodle bite.
Joe is hungry. Sneak-a-doodle bite.
Well, we know where the weight discrepancy was.
Fucking asshole. And that's the thing, right? Tiny sneakadoodle, because the amount was only a little wrong, right? Because that's the thing. Like, the amount was only off by like maybe like 0.3, 0.4 ounces. And yeah, man, it looks like he took a bite that was roughly like 0.3, 0.4 ounces. Damn, that's wild.
The Joe is hungry. Well, let's bend a little time and get out of the drive-thru as when you get it home and reheat it. Well, let's bend a little time.
I'm sorry, reheat it? Do people reheat Arby's?
And ask my evil twin and do the Joe is hungry sneak-a-doodle bite.
Joe is hungry. Sneak-a-doodle bite.
Reheated Arby's? Is that allowed? Can you do that?
A roast beef sandwich is perfectly fine cold.
Who's in charge here?
I would straight up say like a cold roast beef sandwich on like a heartier rye bread, or like a Lithuanian rye in particular, something like that, like a really stern, strong loaf, and like some bread and butter pickles and a little bit of just straight up butter on that, like a very simple sandwich, maybe a little bit of lettuce here and there. Dude, it's simple. It's so good. The little sweet and sour with like the creaminess and the roast beef, it just hits so good. It's one of those sandwiches that made me like be like, actually, sweet and sour bread and butter pickles can be pretty fucking awesome. People just they love to hate on things they don't understand. I get it, but it's so good in that context. Oh my god, they're so good in that context.
So annoying. Smoky, lukewarm, fair amount of meat. Let's move on with this video.
Well, according to the boss.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah, if he did actually buy 4, that's crazy, because that means he went into the drive-thru, ordered 3, had the camera fall off the back of the car, did that whole thing, pulled around front, weighed them, temp tested them, took a sneakadoodle bite after one of them, and then drove through the drive-thru again to get one more, completely undocumented, which no universe would this man let that go. Yeah, and that's free content.
Why in the world would you make it sneaky? Why would you? Yeah, okay, sneakadoodle bite, whatever. Who gives a shit? Why would you like specifically go through that extra effort instead of just getting 4 of them?
Yeah, completely bonkers.
This kind of sandwich will always.
He did have a 4th wrapper he used to tear. I wouldn't be shocked if he either A, just like pulled that wrapper off and put it on there, or B, ordered. That just has a wrapper lying around from last time, because I can fucking see one on the desk behind him under the Papa John's box. I can literally see another Arby's wrapper right fucking there. Did you ever think maybe he's just filthy?
Well, and reheat just fine. And finally, it's time to give this a score. If you don't know my scale is 1 to 10, 9 being the best. Anything above 9 is a once in a lifetime experience and almost never achieved. 5 and down is that slippery slope to the pits and depths.
Maybe that is his engagement bait.
So let's go ahead
Who
and
knows?
give this the number that it truly deserves. Arby's, if this thing would just be a little bit.
Maybe he collects them. Oh, do you mean the guy who has, I presume, an empty Burger King and Arby's gift card hanging up next to his desk? Insane. You want to see, chat, you want to see some of the things I have by my desk? You want to see the kind of things that I have nearby within arm's reach? Here, let me show you some things. I'll show you what I got. So, got a funny little chain chomp. Love that guy. I love this. Love that guy. Classic. one of my favorite ones, this was sent to me by the devs of Ruins of the Reckless. I love this little guy because he has like he's got a little fat ass. They gave him like a little beanbag in the butt. So he falls down naturally and is like very stable despite being a cute little orb. Love that guy. The Eternal, the Casey Green, had to support Casey Green because he has been just fucked by the internet and copyright. So as soon as he was selling an officially licensed one, I was like, as someone who is on the internet, I feel like I have to do that. Like, I owe this to Casey Green at least. And then, yeah, another one from the Ruins of the Reckless devs. I love this little guy, too. Pretty cool. Then, I've got, like, a couple amiibo over here. I have a very old Intel Rubik's Cube that I got with my first CPU when I built my first streaming computer, like, 11 years ago. And this is a fun one. This thing's great. I love this one. This was one of the two most extreme cases I worked on when I did medical engineering, and I planned like knee surgeries and made devices and things like that. And this one in particular, so this is a femur. For those of you who don't know, a femur does not normally look like this. This is a 3D model that we printed out of the patient's bone scan so that our surgeons and ourselves could like look over it, review, see what we were going to do. So it looks like this. That's not normally what it's like. So this is all just calcification. This, if I remember right, I think this was a bullet wound or some kind of wartime break that just never got treated for years and years. So what you can see actually on this side is there's a pretty clear separation, like in this part where the bone clearly broke and then tilted forwards and then shifted back into place. And then the calcification just kind of built up around it. So more or less the human body tried to fuse the bones back together the best it could, considering they were never set or treated properly for, 30, 40 years. So we ended up with this, which fuck me, this plan was so hard. None of our systems worked for it. Like I had to go in and manually do everything, every step of the way. This case in particular, and the reason I hold on to it is all of my frustrations about them wanting us to hit certain like target goals and be like, you have to plan this many surgeries and design this many things, per day, per week or whatever. And that's always what management was trying to push in upper management. And then I just like hold on to this and be like, this was 2 weeks. This was 2 weeks. This was more work than I had to put in over 120 cases. Free. Because so many of them are just like, yeah, it's a little old grandma whose cartilage is worn down and her bone is the exact same shape as 99.9% of the population of roughly her age, which is 99% of the population who needs to get their knees fixed. So it's like so many of just the same thing. And then you get hit by something like this, where it's like, the good part is, at the very least for me, the one good part was all those other cases, like I know they were probably good for the patient long-term, this, that, the other. This one was one where I can look at this and I can see this and I can think about having this in my leg instead of my femur. And I can just say like, no, this person's quality of life was radically altered by what we did. And that's kind of beautiful. There's also some stuff too. You can see like, we have markings to show distal cut depth. It's maybe like a little hard to see, but there's like little tiny circles on there. It's a little hard to see, but the cartilage is just totally gone on this segment. That's just totally gone. There's very little contact pad there, so we had to do like extra distal cuts so that we could have the tool latch on properly. We had to do a secondary cutting around the backside, all that stuff. Yeah, it was one of those where it was a case that everybody had kind of bounced around and just said like, we can't do it. And, I was at the exact age and part of my career where I was like, I can do it. I'll find a way. I'll make it happen. Everyone else gave up. No, not me. Not today. And yeah, dude, it took so long. It took so much talk back and forth. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. So I remember that one. That is one. The other one, and I have the other model somewhere else. It was the opposite problem. It was so tiny. When they sent it to me at first, I thought it was a prank they were doing to try and prove I couldn't just make the tech work on anything, because I was the person who gained the reputation as someone who will just make it work. I'll find a way, I'll dig in the system, and I'll fucking make it happen. So I thought they were just trying to fuck with me and were sending me animal bones or something. And like, nope. It turns out it was just someone who had been paralyzed from the waist down at like the age of like 3 or 4 or something like that. So had just never applied pressure to them in a meaningful fashion. So they just never developed. So it was just perfectly smooth, super tiny. Yeah, like the most atrophied legs possible. That was a case too of like, even after the fixes and stuff, they weren't going to be able to walk. That was just not on the table. It was a matter of their bones were so malformed in the way they were connecting that even through the paralysis, it was causing them really severe like nerve pain higher up in their body. So it was a case of like, we were doing it to make them more comfortable, not because like there was no shot that they were going to be walking again. It wasn't in the cards. It just isn't. But at the very least, it just made them a lot more comfortable, which we take those.
Warmer and maybe a little bit better portion control, this thing would have been in the 7s without question. With all that said, amazingly enough, I still like it. Actually has a special place on my little cold heart.
Are you telling me that this fucker claims, and because here's the thing, right? Joe can say this, I don't fucking believe him for a minute, that he orders 3, gets the price, then changes the order, and then edits the change out. Because that's fucking insane and has absolutely, there's no purpose to it other than to cause problems. So I don't believe him. I don't believe him at all. Also,
that question, a little bit better portion control. This thing would just be a little bit warmer and maybe a little bit better portion control. This thing would have been in
yeah, that's what he claims he does because he's getting called out for like totally fucking up.
the 7s without question. With all that said,
oh, I believe he'd be that much of an ass to fast food workers. I don't believe he would throw the footage out. I simply don't believe he'd throw the footage out. Also, he always complains about the price. So the idea of him artificially lowering the price in the reads is totally counterintuitive to what he's trying to do. So like either he's lying or he's a fucking idiot. Either way.
amazingly enough,
Like, not to be rude, but he's either lying or very stupid. Like, that's the only reasons that would be the read.
A little cold heart. So today,
a little cold heart. It was like 130 degrees.
I'm gonna have to go 6.2. That is my number. This is my review, and hopefully, I will see you in the next video.
Well, was your food good?
Yeah,
What was that?
Was your food good?
Next video.
Yeah.
Well, was your food good?
Yeah.
This is why I don't believe that he would go back and do another and not record it. That's why I don't trust him. That is why I don't trust him. He just uses everything. Yeah, that right there. No way. No way. No way. So sloppy. No fucking way. All right. Are you ready to talk to our favorite down-to-earth man? Perhaps the most down-to-earth man on the planet. This guy has the greatest dad vibes in history. IMO. Do we have any strong opinions on which one we'd like to watch? Because it's been a little bit since we've seen the bald foodie guy. He loves this pizza, apparently. 4 beef burger quarter pounders with bacon. Best supermarket curry I've ever reviewed. Tesco are having a laugh. Oh, I want to see him get mad at Tesco food.
Yeah, let's get mad at Tesco. I'm all for that.
I hope you're all spot on. Thanks for watching the video. Now we've been shopping, been to.
Yes, this guy. The thing too is like he has a planned intro, but it's so natural and a little awkward that you don't realize it. But like and I've been doing some shopping. That's like part of the intro.
Tesco, come and have a look what I've got. I was having a little walk around Tesco as you do. and I came across this and I noticed it was new.
Sorry, there's something so charming about someone who's like, yeah, it has a new sticker on it. Fuck it, guess it's new.
Slow cooked lamb hot pot, classic and tender. Expertly slow cooked for hours for tenderness and flavour. Oven cook 40 minutes, serves warm.
Yeah, because there's a lot of skill that goes into slow cooking stuff.
Yeah, right. Expertly slow cooked. What does that mean? You put everything in right?
This was in the fridge, it's not frozen. It was £3.
I'm really jealous of his oven situation back there.
Take a look at the box.
Man.
Double chambered,
So it's 2 degrees.
wall mounted oven.
Yeah, the over under with a little toaster oven on the side
out
too.
there, and it's this is the I can see this is the perfect meal, isn't it? I mean, you can always stick your own, make your own, stick your own, stick them up. You can always do your own, put it in a slow cooker, couldn't you, if you've got one? Yeah, definitely. Anyway, it seems it contains alcohol. Don't worry, I wouldn't worry about that. They'll all burn off, as you say. So let's go around the back. So there is some more nutritional information there. If you
Great,
wanna
man.
pause that and have a look at that, by all means.
Hold
go
on,
ahead.
let's see what the salt level is of the day. Not actually as bad as I would have thought.
Yeah, but they do claim
For
this,
prepackaged food.
they claim this is a meal for one. 1854 calories is it's kilojoules, right? So 444 calories. Actually, yeah, that's about right for like a meal, for a one person meal. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Damn.
One person.
A little high on the salt, but that's frozen food, you know? Not crazy.
Not as high as like American frozen foods,
Yes.
which are significantly higher than that on salt content.
Yeah.
Got some spiel at the top. Slow cooked diced lamb shoulder. Sliced potatoes, carrots, and onions in a red wine
I'm so excited to hear this guy say gravy. I'm just hyped, sorry.
gravy.
Yeah.
Gravy.
They
Yeah.
are the ingredients. The allergen is barley. So it's lamb, 43%.
The allergen for today is
red wine in there.
barley.
Malt vinegar. Yeah. Allergy advice. For allergens, including cereals containing gluten, see ingredients in bold, which we have done, haven't we? So there's two methods of cooking here. You can do it in the oven, and it says for best results, oven cook.
You gotta
It's up
oven
to
it.
you. Or you can do it in the microwave. It's a pig meal. It's however you want to do it. It's 300 grams. That would be nice if it was 400. It's getting less, isn't it, the grammage? Red Tractor certified lamb. I suppose lamb is quite expensive.
When oven
isn't
cooked
it?
according to instructions, 300 grams typically weighs 243 grams. I know what they mean of you losing water weight, but that's a very funny sentence.
Yeah.
300 grams is actually
British lamb.
243
British
grams.
lamb, yeah, it's probably going to be expensive. But it'd still be nice if it was 400 grams.
Also, man, it's so brutal seeing these that are like, yeah, you can do it in the oven or in the microwave. And just being like, please don't do it in the microwave. Please.
Let's get this open, see what we have got. So, do we have a tab system?
In this case, it's a slow cooked thing with
probably
meat
fine.
and potato and vegetable. It will be fine in the microwave.
Yeah, it'll probably come out like a little bit wet compared to being in the oven.
A little
Not too
gloopy,
bad.
but the
Yeah.
oven would, and it would come out better in the oven, but it wouldn't be the worst.
Dear me, there's no tab system there, is there?
Oh, fuck.
I don't know what that is there. I don't know what
Oh,
that's
my man's in
supposed
shambles.
to be. That was hard work. Wowzers.
Okay, I'm suddenly seeing where he's talking about Tesco having a laugh.
That, it's an ugly little
Your
fucking
food
pouch.
looks sick.
Yeah, it's an ugly little pouch, bro. That looks like you have pulled out and transparenterized a cow stomach. That's no good.
Oh man, that is ridiculous. Look at that. God. £3.50 for that. That ain't a lot, is there? Wow. So we need scissors to get into that, because what it says on the back, I did have a quick sneaky peek. You've got to transfer the contents of the pouch into an oven-proof dish and layer the sliced potatoes on top of hot pot.
Oh, so you have to hold on a second. That means you have to pour it in and then rearrange it afterwards? That's
yeah.
a weirdly high amount of work for one of these. What's going on here?
Yeah.
To ensure crisp texture. Place dish in centre of a preheated oven. I'm going to do it in the oven. I mean, yeah, you definitely need all the little, extras. That's for sure.
Those potatoes do not look like they have any roast on them whatsoever.
Oh, that is nothing in there.
I guess that's why it's 40 minutes in the oven with them on top, right? They got to get that roast in.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you think, this is just my little bit of maybe chef brain stuff going on. Do you think as far as mass production, they vacuum seal ingredients and mass sous vide these in like a mass sous vide?
Yes,
bath?
absolutely.
Yeah,
100%. That's how they do these.
Box them up. Yeah, 100%. Because that's like what I'm noticing is there's no caramelization or Maillard on anything. And that is like the telltale sign of has only been sous vide and has not been touched an additional way on top of that.
I mean, is it me?
Yeah.
Or is it
Yeah, if you microwave these, those taters are going to give you depression.
everything shrinking? It's got to be.
They're going to be very, very soft at the very least, so.
Let's get this
Yeah.
on. I think I need some new scissors. Yeah, I do. Wowzers.
Oh, shit, that reminds me.
It's got a long date on it as well.
Got to tell someone
the 9th of,
to bring a pair
February.
of kitchen shears. If they've got any.
Right.
Speedrun
Newbie
the
or
vegetables.
urchin.
Yeah.
No, not speedrunning the vegetables. I need to cut spines out of chickens.
Oh, right. Yeah, you got to debone them, boys.
So you're going to have to get
Yeah.
your hands in if you want to do that. So, God, it's a disaster,
I got my
isn't it?
cooking
It's
for
an
friends out of my
absolute
system
disaster.
just a
It
little
really
bit before
is from the
MagFest.
start.
Because I can't
Don't
be
get
doing
a
that
few
in
calories.
MagFest.
£3.50.
Those steaks were so tender too. Holy shit. Like, I'll be honest, the flavor change was not as drastic as I was hoping for on a
35 days
dry
is
age.
the kind of like the edge of it just barely gets any of the big funk. But the textural difference is super noticeable.
Incredible. Yeah, like Mini Matt even mentioned, he was like, yeah, I usually hate fat on steaks. Like, it's the worst part of a fat on a steak, like the the chewy fat and just like gristly and stuff. And this one just like melted like butter. It was fucking wild. Yeah, it was that the texture is really where I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is the most tender steak I've had in my fucking life.
A few carrots. There's your potatoes. There's your lamb, all sort of stuck together. You can't spread this around. It's
I definitely, if I do it again though, I'm gonna need to find either a place that is willing to grind part of the pellicle for me or get some kind of grinder so I can do that and then use that in ground beef to make like dry aged flavor burgers, since that's apparently a thing people do like a lot now.
just all going to fall apart.
I mean, the pellicles don't go to
You're
get
just gonna
any
have to
use
do it like that.
whatsoever
That's your
otherwise,
lamb,
right?
basically.
So,
There's your
Yeah, and they've got great flavor in them. It's just their texture is dookie. But if you blend them up with something that's like a little too juicy, it brings them both in line and gives
Yeah.
it a lot of rich flavor.
Just that block there.
it's like eating leather otherwise.
Yeah.
Make your own straight away. That's
The thing about dry aged, it does make the outside like super dry.
There's the onion.
Yeah.
So I'm not happy with this at all. It's not going in the oven. I'm not wasting 40 minutes cooking.
It's like I don't even want to bother waiting for this. It's shit already. I can tell. This dude is going for the
There's your
throat, and I
potatoes,
respect
there's
it.
Your lamb, all sort of stuck together. You can't spread this
Oh
around.
god,
It's
this
all gonna
reminds me.
fall apart.
Chef John put out a recipe recently, which
Just have to do it
is
like that. That's your lamb basically. There's
it's
your
reminding
lamb.
me purely because
That
of
block there.
the idea of grilled shingled potatoes.
Make your own.
He put out
Straight
a
away. That's
combination
right.
mashed potato gratin recipe that looks
So
ridiculous and really really fucking good.
I'm not
I need to
happy with
make it
this
sometime.
at all. It's not going in the oven. I'm not wasting 40 minutes cooking that. I'm going to ping it in the
That amount of meat is really pathetic, though. Holy shit, that's like
It
no
really
meat.
is, yeah.
I've done it wrong for the microwave because you're supposed to pierce the pouch and put the pouch in a microwavable dish. So we'll just have to stick a bit of cling film over the top. We'll go from there. So I've had to get the old grey matter working and do a bit of a rethink here. So it's going to go in this Pyrex dish. Like that.
So not only does this food suck, it's complicated and it sucks. It sucks and it's the hardest thing to cook in the world.
I've got got a lid for it, so the lid's going to go on. So I've got a lid. Now, it says to go in the microwave for 7.5 minutes. Now that seems a long time, so I'll put it in for 5 and we'll have a look at it. We've had 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be going about 3 hours. Hey everybody, I'm Ty Tuesday. I stream here 6 days a week generally. You'll have to follow here if you want to know about all of them. We have a clips channel, !clips in chat. We'll hit you up with that. We also do most live streams over there as well, but only all of them here because YouTube tends to be a little shitty about DMCA stuff on occasion. Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow playing Hyrule Warriors until it's time for me to go to my monthly and go lose at a fighting game, and then I'm going to drive back and then I'm going to play more Hyrule Warriors. If you're not familiar, that game is the ultimate just vibe game. Hours just happen when Hyrule Warriors is on screen. It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, definitely drop a follow. I would super appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for being here. Keep it up.
It does smell good. You're paying for the lamb, aren't you? That's what you're paying for. But they could have.
I'm trying to get more people involved in my more complex clownery operations.
I mean, you could have bulked it out with
dude.
More, at least, you know.
Like lamb isn't the most beautiful meat on the planet, even when it's cooked properly.
No,
but that's
lamb will always look a little grey. But yeah.
And there is a little warning. Well, it's not so much a warning. It says important, not suitable for cooking from frozen.
What?
So is this like one of them Hormel foods then? This is refrigerated?
What the fuck?
I'm going to weigh the meat content. I want to see how much lamb we're getting. So I've put that on there. You can see. A lovely gift, these scales sent to me. And I'm going to measure how much.
Yeah, he said it wasn't frozen when he bought it. Yeah, so this is just the refrigerator stuff. God, so it's not even like something you can throw in your freezer and have on hand for an extended period of time. So it doesn't even have the convenience factor. Damn, that makes this evaluate even lower, right? Because like I've had frozen meals that I know for a fucking fact are better than this.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. And also that actually makes the salt content pretty high, in fact, because the.
So pretty much.
Long-term preservation is why you jack the salt in. Yeah, 100%. And if it's refrigerated, it doesn't have that.
Pretty much the lamb. So it's 300 grams.
It had instructions for if it was frozen, it was to de-thaw it for 12 hours in the fridge. What?
Quick and easy.
Quick and easy, 12 hours in the fridge.
So this is like at most 2/5 lamb, this lamb food.
We get 93 grams of lamb. 90.
Less than 100 grams.
Less than
of meat.
Less than half of what I have whenever I eat chicken. I literally, my default number for putting chicken into my FitnessPal, my standard is 250 grams. So
24 grams of lamb. That's what we're paying for. 93. Any advances on 93.
Yeah, I think, Beam, Splash X, King Green Bean, and Bald Foodie Guy, I think we can all come to agreement on this. Tesco's having a laugh, man.
Yeah, I think Tesco is laughing. They're having one right now.
With the little bits and bobs that are left in the bottom of there. Put that to one side. Give it a wesh, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's a convenient crock pot meal that if you picked it up frozen would take longer than just putting the raw ingredients in a crock pot and letting it rock. Also, it costs like 3 times as much as just buying the ingredients for a crock pot, throwing them in there and letting it rock. Also, the food will be fresher and better and tastier if you just buy the ingredients, throw them in a crock pot and let them rock. The whole point for me of a slow cooker or a crock pot is that they're so easy. They're so easy, right? Like they're so free. You just throw that shit in there and turn it on and walk away for 12 hours. That's why people like them.
What you get. You've seen the lamb. I mean, the lamb doesn't look. It's quite light.
It's quite
it's
light.
Good. There's your potatoes. Now your potatoes are all going to be soggy now. They really are.
Yeah, maybe you sear things a little bit before you throw them in the cooker. Maybe you char a vegetable or two before you toss it in. Sure. Why not? But like,
Washing up.
yeah, slow cookers at a base level are just like very easy. You just put vegetables and meat and a little bit of fluid in it, and then you walk away.
That's, to bulk it out.
Dude, I had so many slow cooker meals when I was hanging out with my best friend growing up, and his family, who they were like a huge adoptive family. Like, he was one of their biological children, but then he had like 5 or 6 brothers, depending on what time of year it was. There were like 3 biological brothers and then like 5 or 6, and it was foster too, so they were floating in and out all the time. And yeah, slow cooker meals were like the savior of that family. Just like set up 3 slow cookers in the morning before, the parental units go to work, and then come back home. And thank God we can at least feed these fucking ravenous teens without having to die.
I want a bit of carrot. The gravy's quite sweet. That's not too bad.
Yeah, like, he doesn't hate the flavor.
Some fatty bits of lamb.
Which, like, yeah, that's not the problem here, though, right? Because, like, the problem is it's just an unbelievably small amount of mid stuff. That's way too hard to make.
We'll have a look. The potato's soft. I mean, it's just gone to mush. I've done it in the microwave. You do it in the oven. You couldn't layer that properly, though. You have to get your hands in there. You get absolutely... everything would fall apart.
And yeah, I think he's nailing it on the head. It's a weirdly inconvenient product.
Needs a bit of pepper for me, but that's just me. I do like my pepper. It's well seasoned. Other than that, it's quite sweet. The gravy. I mean, the carrots have just gone to mush, soft.
I think that's another common thing you get with packaged foods is like savory foods being weirdly sweet. I don't know what that is, but I know what he's talking about.
I did it for 6.5 minutes in the microwave. It says 7.5, so I did it for a minute less. But I did it in that Pyrex dish as well, so it would have, it's really got the town on it, like. But it will get eaten, don't worry. There's another, let's have a look, see if there's any stringy bits of fat in the lamb. I mean, lamb is fatty, isn't it? I love lamb.
I mean, that's the thing, though, is like lamb, you can just reheat and it'll be good. So it's probably fine.
No, that's not too bad. You could do with a bit of mint sauce. Little bit of mint sauce just to put in there, but you needs more vegetables, obviously. There's not many carrots, not many potatoes in there. It's £3.50 and it's 300 grams, and you get 94 grams of lamb. Please let me know what you think in the comments. I'm very interested to find out.
They cheaped out on carrots. I almost feel bad. Bald Foodie Guy had such a bad day, I think. I'm going to instead skip to him getting excited about a pizza. Let's just cut out the middleman.
What are you doing out there? I hope you're all spot on. Thanks for watching the video. Now I've been shopping to Iceland. Come and have a look where I got weekends.
Iceland for my American friends. My fellow Americans. Iceland is a freezer section only grocery store, from what I understand.
Up on us, it's Friday. And it's pizza time.
No,
Notice this
it's a
was
country. An island country to the northwest of the British Isles.
That's a great
Duh.
That's a great point, Doc. Thanks, man. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what it is, Indigo Blooper. Yeah, this is what it's like being a regular ass person living in like some little suburb and just trying to find something interesting or new from your grocery store. 100%. This is, oh shit, Aldi's has a new kind of pizza. Fuck it.
I had to get it. The original pepperami triple topped pizza. Oh, this was waiting to happen. It must have been. It's 400 grams, and there is the serving suggestion. A pizza. I was just waiting for this one to happen. Heinz brought out pizzas, haven't they? Baked bean pizzas. Or baked beans. Anyway, the price, it was
What is he talking about? Hold on. What? Whoa. Sorry, what's this bean pizza? What's going on?
Baked bean pizzas.
What? Hold on. Hey, whoa.
Baked bean pizzas.
I didn't agree to this.
What's to happen? Heinz brought out pizzas, haven't they? Baked bean pizzas. Or baked beans. Anyway,
Heinz baked bean pizza.
It was £3.50. So let's take a look at the packaging. The old pepperami stick. They had to put them on pizzas, and to be honest, if we're getting a pizza and I want to pimp it up, we do have pepperamis in the fridge.
I need to hear him say that sentence again. I'm going to turn that volume up. If I want to pimp it up, I think is what he said at some point.
The old pepperami stick. They had to put them on pizzas, and to be honest, if we're getting a pizza and I want to pimp it up, we do have pepperamis in the fridge.
Pimp it up.
Pimp it up. Okay, I said he wants to pimp up his pizza. Fuck yeah.
Do chop it up and put them on the pizza. So yeah. So they are the ingredients, the nutritional. Sorry, I'm getting all a bit discombobulated here. They are the ingredients, but this is the nutritional.
Pop it off
information.
for the goods.
And pause it. By all means, go ahead. Now we've got to the. I should have started at the top. There's the ingredients.
Is pepperami just like a weird type of pepperoni?
Yeah. How to cook. Best results cooked from frozen, which this is.
What is pepperami? Is that like a different thing?
You do it in the oven, 15 to 18 minutes. Preheat the oven, fan 200. Remove from all packaging. That's always.
Oh, it's like a brand.
Place directly
It's like a little
onto the
Slim
middle
Jim
shelf
brand thing.
of the oven.
Spicy little sausages. Okay.
400 grams, like I said.
Salami in a Slim Jim form
pepperami
factor.
triple
Word.
topped pizza. Wood-fired pizza base topped with tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, and pepperami salami. Origin of pork is the EU. Yeah.
Imagine a Slim Jim pizza. I will not.
Your containers do that anyway.
You can't make me.
Hold on.
I can just do it manually. It's fine. I like doing it manually.
I will not.
Thanks.
Let's get it open, see what we have got. Yeah, I do like a pizza, I must admit.
Wood-fired pizza. How's pizza supposed to find work now?
Best before is March 2024.
In this economy?
So, yeah, it's frozen, so not that long away. We're in
You know what's
January.
something unfortunate?
I think it is
My favorite pizza topping is something that actually basically no one
that's
stocks
what
anymore,
we
and I
get.
find it very frustrating.
What is that?
It's actually just hot Italian sausage, but specifically very thinly sliced hot Italian sausage. Not as thin as pepperoni, but as specifically thin Italian sausage rings. And no one does that anymore. They almost always just do crumbles if they have Italian sausage at all. It's almost always mild Italian sausage, you know?
By the
Yeah.
time the oven
Yeah, I do know,
defrosts-
yeah.
Sorry, not defrosts. Heats
Like,
up.
You can get a mixture of that and pepperoni. You get something that approaches it, but it's not the same.
Fill up the gaps. Yeah. So it's warmed up. I'm going to put that straight on there.
Have I considered chorizo?
200 degrees.
Like
like
chorizo, basically.
Minutes. Now, I'm just looking at
Not
the
a common like pizza topping in my area. Let me tell you, being in Massachusetts.
White boy, yes. Yeah. Chorizo, huh? Actually, I might be able to get chorizo on a pizza where I am because there's a very strong Latin American community. Oh, it's like large ass.
And it's got
Starts out slices.
pepperoni,
Ooh.
19%, 17% pork.
Yeah. Let me tell you, not available in my state, or at least in my part of the state.
Yeah, you just know the old pizza.
Like I'd have to just make it myself, in which case I would just make
the spicy
it with
Italian sausage.
the spicy Italian sausage, one that I want, you know?
Yeah.
There's the ingredients. You want a quick scoot at them as well?
Half pizza, 488. Yeah, I could windmill slam that thing.
Doesn't look bad for a freezer pizza. That looks fine.
A little wet. I know it is considered sacrosanct to dab some pizzas, and I get it because the problem is people just dab any pizza without thinking if the pizza deserves to be dabbed or not. This to me looks like a pizza that's deserving of a dab.
There's enough meat in this that I understand why it's so greasy. You know? This is actually a pretty meaty pizza right here.
I just still dab it for sure.
It's done.
I don't like the liquid layer on top of the pizza at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that's going to get removed when you pick it up. you know, it's just going to drip off anyway.
Run off, yeah.
Another gimmick. I might like this one. So, yeah.
Portuguese Curacao is a bit more cured than Mexican chorizo. Okay.
Just do 4. If I cut it into
Makes
8,
sense.
That's not actually like hot Italian sausage, though, then, because that's specifically not cured or smoked.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
I don't think it's a share, eh?
Yeah, it's hot Italian sausage is just it's just meat stuffed in there with some seasoning. It's pre-cooked a lot of the times, not often, but it can be. But it is not cured or smoked.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Indigestion tablets, but they're ready after this one. That's for sure.
The indigestion tablets, yeah.
I'll just pull it apart.
Again, I'm not talking about making one myself, which I very much could do. I mean talking about ordering it, because I very rarely make pizza for myself for good reason.
Yeah, it's really hard to make a pizza for yourself with the tools available.
Army, isn't it? Probably just cut it up.
Yeah, it's not that I couldn't do it. I could.
Yeah, Indigo, whenever I see a pizza, I immediately just, right away, can't help it.
Still done underneath though, but not. Yeah, got a bit of a flop on.
Low flop is good.
Because it's got a generous portion of triple.
Doesn't have particularly good leoparding on the bottom, but that's okay. It does look like it's got at least a little bit of cronk.
Look at all that. And if they weren't sure enough of how tasty it's going to be, they've just thrown an extra load of MSG on it. Bring it over. Come on, bring it over here. Let's get the MSG on it.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's called cooking, man.
I haven't even tried it yet.
That's great.
Oh man, he just took all that meat. He went ape shit.
Yeah, as far as frozen pizzas go, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, it's greasy, but that's okay with me.
Yeah,
I don't mind
fine.
a greasy piz.
My only concern is that I have a feeling the pepperami is not the pepperoni flavor I crave.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yes.
But if it was normally...
Also, the form factor, like the discs are good for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
They get crispy in the nice way. No, I said greasy piz. If I said greasy piss, you'd know it.
Yeah, Dougie would be on screen.
Yeah, I'd be. I have no qualms whatsoever with saying the words greasy piss. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
So you'd know.
And
I'd make sure you know.
And I did keto dieting for long enough that I can tell you what it feels like to take a greasy piss if you are interested. I can tell you. What
Sure,
that's
why
like.
not? Go for it. I'm not going to say no. You can go ahead and share people your greasy piss all the time. I'm sure they're all ready to guzzle that up. No problem.
It feels the same as regular piss, but then it's like extra shiny on top, and it smells a little metallic and a little sweet. It's weird.
I see. Gotcha.
There you go. Gotcha. You're welcome.
It's like the same.
I'm going again. I'm going in again.
Actually accurate. Yeah, I'm not bullshitting you. I know what it's like. People didn't listen to Jesus Christ because he wasn't on the cross, you know? He lived it.
Maybe not
Oh, hey,
advised.
are you going to keep bothering me? What's going on, Kat?
I'm liking that.
No, made a pizza tonight, but burned it. Not badly enough to make it an edible, but so close to extremely good. Hey, that just means this was a lab pizza. Next pizza, you've got it.
Have you considered taking an angle grinder to the bottom of it to remove the burn?
That too, or just like a serrated blade. That helps too. But yeah, just take that as a lesson. Also, if you don't have an oven thermometer, you can get a good one for like $5, and then you just hang it in your oven and set your oven to when it claims it's 400 degrees, and then you look at it and see that it says 427 degrees, and you go, "Oh, my oven runs hot," and then you can turn it down, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I wish any oven that I had ever ran hot unless the boiler was on, in which case they run exceptionally hot.
Yeah.
I'm almost always got the problem if they run a little cool. It's because I typically have old ovens.
So I think what it is for me is I mistakenly thought my oven run hot at first, but it was just high altitude cooking changes and like that tending to make food dry out quicker and stuff. So I like mistook that as my oven running hotter than it did.
That is good. I like that. I do. Well, I hope you have a good weekend, whatever you're doing, whatever you're up to, whether you might be working, partying. If you're having a party, can I come? I've been doing
Yeah, man, you can. You can. A blanket invite for you only, Bald Foodie Guy.
You might be working, partying. If you're having a party, can I come?
Gotta feed this cat.
I've been to a party in ages. Yeah, good old party. Let your hair down. Have a good boogie. The old two-step.
Have a good boogie, the old two-step.
Let your hair down. Have a good boogie. The old two-step. Right, I'm going. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching and subscribing. I do appreciate it. Take care. All the best.
I love this
And I'll get back to
guy.
you on the next.
God damn. Oh, man. Yeah, hey, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for being here. Yeah, thanks, Doc, for hanging out through a lot of this. I appreciate it as always. Yeah, let me find someone to host y'all over to. I'm gonna see if any of the funny kids I've been working with recently are live. It does not seem that way.
Chloe has been fed, if anyone is concerned.
Molto bene. They don't show you uptime anymore on the following page. Annoying. It was nice to know if someone had been live for more than 10 seconds or not. You know what? Lucky Bun is talking about one of the funniest games. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yo, thanks for hanging out, everybody. We're going to raid on over to Lucky Bun. Again, if you aren't already following, please do. I would super appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed the apple tasting. I hope you enjoyed the tier list of apples. Yeah, I'll see you here tomorrow for some Hyrule Warriors, and then yeah, we'll see you from. We'll take it from there. Put a little Sweet Baby Ray's on the ribs. Take it from there. Yeah, catch y'all later.